Hello, and welcome to episode 20 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hello. How is everyone? How are you?
I'm very good.
Good. Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm
What
fine.
about you? How are
No,
you?
I'm fine. You don't have to ask. Don't worry. I'm fine. That was a very jaunty intro from you.
How are you?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah,
Positive?
I'm sure.
I feel like you're no longer okay because I didn't ask immediately how you were.
That my feelings have been crushed.
Compromised.
I'll leave.
Oh no!
I'll go. Don't worry.
It's only just begun.
Indeed. But yes, hello. Welcome to episode 20.
2-0.
I cannot believe it.
10 more than 10.
10 more than 10.
20 more than 0.
20 more than 0.
1 more than 19.
17 more than 3.
It's true.
That was quick math.
That was quick math.
That was
I
quick.
expected you to.
Yeah,
I expected you to not get that right.
And I know you all did as well. I know you were all sat there thinking she's going to mess this up real bad.
We both nearly said the F word.
We both nearly did. And that would have been so bad.
That early.
Yeah.
Apparently YouTube has a problem with it happening early.
Yeah, within the first 7 seconds, I think,
Yeah.
which you guys have watched us. You've been with us now for 20 weeks.
That is not how many weeks it's been.
So you know.
You know it.
I do know it. So you know what we're like. We do like to. You're slurping into the mic.
I'm trying to. No, I'm slipping next to the mic.
I just heard.
A
Yes.
little bit of ASMR, nice and quick there as well.
I say it every time. Can't believe it. We're here at 20.
20.
So honestly, thank you all so much
Yeah.
for being here with us. This has been fast, real fast.
Real fast.
Buckle your seatbelts because we are going speed of light.
We are going fast. Watch out.
So thank you guys. I also every episode we prepare something we want to talk about.
Just nearly missed that crucial word of that very small
We
sentence.
just want to talk, but
That we want to talk.
You do the rest.
You finish it off.
You finish the sentence. And things like we want to catch you guys up on, and we always do like a test shot to make sure we're in frame. I looked at myself in my nice fluffy jacket.
New fluffy jacket.
I was like, I look like Macklemore.
Macklemore in that one video.
That one music video, and I know you all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Even I know.
That
Pop culture reference.
Oh yeah,
that the kids will 100%
I just want to say
be down with.
I'm not.
I feel like that's quite old now. That Macklemore song.
That Macklemore. I feel like it is.
That Macklemore song.
Like that came out when we were like what, in college? Or maybe not in school.
Not in school.
Maybe not even college. Maybe
college
uni.
or uni.
Yeah, it's
it
like
was one of the
2012ish.
two. Yeah. 2012.
So if you all know that reference, you're old as well. So it's not. And look, it's got
little,
cute ears on it.
Cute bear ears on
It's
it.
got little bear ears on
Look
it.
at the camera. Oh,
How cute's that?
that's pretty
Isn't
adorable.
the sweetest thing? Should I sit with my? I've got like a bit of a bun in. So
You're gonna
I
get
don't-
real hot.
I am already boiling.
So maybe don't have the hood up.
I'm sweating. No, I shan't.
Or do you have the hood up and then just take the whole thing off and heat it too hot?
Well, I just have it hanging on by the hood.
Yeah, like Batman. When you're a kid and you have your coat and you put the hood up and you're like, no, Batman. Yeah, copyright straight now.
No, is that what you meant? Hello, sorry, I don't know if you saw Jack whipping his head around just lightning speeds then. As you all know, we have a dog who's very needy, and he's been laying down this whole time. The second we start talking, he went and got something. He was clawing at something on the floor.
Clawing at something in the corner and then ate something from the floor.
So we obviously had to immediately deal with that.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm not Macklemore. I'm not Batman.
No, you are not either of those two people.
just in case you
What
were
if you were Batman?
confused.
What if you trying to fucking fake us out?
Well, you'd never know.
Bat
would ya?
bitch.
Oh no.
That'll be your name. Bat bitch.
Watch out, it's the bat bitch.
It's the bat bitch. Here she comes. Teddy bear bat bitch.
Teddy bear bat bitch. That's put that.
Right,
that on
now
my
spam the
tombstone.
comments. Skull Blasters is out.
Teddy
Teddy
bear
bear
bat bitch is in.
Teddy bear bat bitch.
Great. That's just perfect.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's wonderful. Sorry, YouTube. Please please ignore all of that. So anything you'd like to update the people on?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Not since the last episode,
Not
which
since the last-
was
which was a few hours ago.
yes.
At this point, there was actually something.
Margaret tried a fish finger sandwich for the first time.
I did. Sorry.
Is that the fish finger
Yeah,
sandwich?
it
Oh
was
my
a
god!
fish finger sandwich.
You were about to say you really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But
But you know these tonsils don't lie. I don't
don't
know.
lie.
These taste buds don't lie.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I had a fish finger sandwich. I have had fish fingers in the past, but I've never had it in a sandwich form until literally like an hour ago, and it was
Yeah.
really good.
You did
I
take it out
didn't
the
eat.
pack.
I didn't eat
So,
it as a sandwich.
I don't know how well the sandwich went down.
And the fish fingers were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Good.
Good crack. Good. Hope you guys will love.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying this.
This is good premium content we're giving for you guys.
Okay.
Well, two things.
You wanted to say
On
two things.
Two things. Whilst we're on the mediocre, listen.
I can't believe
I
it.
told Jack I wanted to put this in, and he couldn't believe it. We bought.
You're really about to update
I know.
our listeners
I
on
am
this.
because you know what? It might help. So we bought a vegetable chopper. And look, it's one of those vegetable choppers you've probably seen on like, I don't know, TikTok, or if TV shopping channels are still a thing.
But yeah.
One of
Somehow.
the QVC like esque thing.
Yeah.
Where you literally, it's a bowl with a blade in it.
You put
and
all
then you
those-
put the vegetables
yeah.
in, and you push it down,
And you
and it
press it
turns
and
the
it
blade.
spins the blade.
It's like a manual blender.
I actually quite like chopping veg. It's quite therapeutic for me.
Jack is the resident cook.
But there's one dish that we cook a bolognese,
Mm.
and it's not really like a bolognese. It's more like a meat sauce.
Yeah.
So all of the vegetables that go in need to be very fine,
Really
to be
fine.
like the same size as
Yeah,
the
and
mince.
it took you
and
ages.
to chop like carrots, celery, onions, and garlic all down to that sort of diameter
Yeah.
took a long time.
So listen. Jack is
So
the type.
Margaret bought me a vegetable
Yeah,
chopper.
Jack's the type of dude where I was like, we should buy a vegetable chopper, and he was like, don't need that. I've bought the vegetable chopper. Go on, say it.
Yeah, it's
Go
good.
on.
It's life changing.
It's life changing. And hey,
like what would have taken me, I don't know, like 20 minutes, half an hour
takes
of
you
chopping.
literally like 5 seconds
Takes
now.
me about just
Yeah.
gotta chop me to like massive chunks,
Yeah.
like snap the carrot
It
in
realistically
half.
takes about 30 seconds,
It's about
doesn't
30
it?
seconds,
Yeah,
yeah.
realistically.
Very good.
And hey, you guys,
I enjoy it very much.
being an adult sucks.
You're gonna link it in the description.
Yeah, I'll link it.
You're gonna link the veggie chopper in the description. Just in case, you know?
Just in case. Listen, being an adult sucks. Having to cook for yourself sucks. If you have dependents, having to cook for them suck. So this might save you some time. I'm
Coming
so
from the person in the household that doesn't do the
that
cooking.
I'm the dependent.
Yeah.
But you never know. Hey, you never know.
I do
And
like to cook though.
now that I'm nearly 30, I get joy in small things like that.
Yeah.
So
And small things like making my life easier.
exactly.
It is good though.
Yeah, where it's
And
a
I do like to
win-win.
cook. I must say, I
Yeah.
do like it's. I don't know what it is. You know when you like cook something.
No.
And
No, I'm
then-
out.
And then like you
No.
see people enjoying it.
No.
It's nice. It's like a nice feeling. Like I
Yeah.
cook a meal and then we sit down and you're like, oh, this is really tasty. I'm like,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You excel at things that I don't,
Cooking, yeah.
and vice
And
versa.
you excel at things that I don't.
So it works.
I got a new phone,
Oh my god,
That
Jack
is-
got a
that's-
new phone,
which is a big deal for
which
me.
is I can't stress to you. When we first met, Jack still had his Samsung S3,
For
your S4, and we met in 2016,
yeah.
and the S4 came out in like,
I don't know.
I don't
Should we have a
know.
look?
Yeah, go on.
Oh,
Go-
no.
Bring it up. Bring up when the Samsung S4 came out. So the point I'm trying to make here is it's a huge thing for Jack to want to get a new phone.
I didn't want to
And
get one.
I had to make up a lie that
Oh,
that
dear.
our phone contract had sent him. Had like accidentally upgraded everyone to an iPhone 10
Yeah.
just so I could buy him an iPhone 10.
Yeah.
So, and you've had the iPhone 10 since when? 2017?
2017. So the Samsung Galaxy the Samsung S4
Yep.
came out in April
Yep.
2013.
Oh, that's not too
So
bad.
I had it for,
That's
I,
not, oh, that's
so I
not
had
bad,
that phone for
actually.
3 years before I met you.
Oh, but then I got you the phone in 2017.
So it was 4 years, and then it was 2017. Then I had the iPhone X.
Until literally
until,
like
yeah.
2023.
So that was 20. So that was another 6 years.
Yeah. So Jack, you don't like to keep updated.
I'm not
And-
really a materialistic person.
Yeah, and
So I don't really like buy things.
no, you don't.
And I don't buy things for myself.
No.
Dog's going back over there, just so everyone knows.
Dog's sniffing in the corner. The dog's found one thing to eat, and
that's
he's never going to leave that corner
Never going to
again.
leave that corner alone again. So I don't really like to buy things for myself.
Yeah.
So Margaret ends up buying me things.
I do. I do. Pretty much everything you want
just to
to buy you.
Yeah, just to like update things that I have.
And once again, we're in a very privileged position where we can afford to get Jack a new phone. And, we're not understating that. But my goodness, he needed one. And you know what? It wasn't.
I don't think I did.
It wasn't that much of a problem up until we started doing the podcast, because we do a lot of like file sharing between our computers and our phones.
Yeah.
And if you have an iPhone and you don't have a Mac, you know how hard it is to get things back and forth.
Yeah.
And we post a lot on TikTok.
Yeah.
And man, just the file transfer was so slow and everything was slow. So we just got you a new phone.
Yeah.
Which is a huge deal for Jack.
It's a very huge deal for me.
So well done for facing your fears and getting a new phone.
Well, I didn't actually do it.
I did it.
Yeah, you did it. If it was up to me, I'd still have the same phone.
Yes.
I don't really.
Yes,
I just don't care.
Would. No,
like,
I know.
I know a lot of people like to get the new thing when it comes out, and I understand why you probably would.
Yeah, no,
but I just don't have that desire.
No, you don't, which is great.
I just
which
never
is
had that desire, and
which is fine.
It's
but
like I know, like
now you work off your phone a lot now, so you need to use your phone. You need it. You need it. Now you got it, so it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels,
right.
Feels great.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Help me.
Good. Anything else? Any other purchases?
You think I've made any other purchases?
Shall we go through our bank statement? This isn't a
well,
D&D podcast anymore. This is a financial podcast now.
Well,
so now to get back onto topic a little bit.
Okay.
We film episodes on the same day.
Yeah.
So we just had our most recent D&D session last night. If you watched the last episode, loads of stuff happened. We had a first character death. It was very good. And
good? Can't say that.
It was good.
It was pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty nice.
Because he's still alive.
Because he's still alive. Because he's still alive.
That's why it was good.
Yeah, it's because he's still alive. So also, I wanted to give an update on my character on Reyla because I completely forgot. Hey. She's a moon druid.
She's a moon druid.
I don't know if you know.
It is true.
Don't know if you've heard.
It's true.
She's a moon druid.
She is a moon druid.
I don't think I've ever mentioned it.
I don't think you ever have.
So she's a moon druid. And I love druids. She's my second druid I've played back to back.
I feel like
this is
everyone may need to take a minute.
I know. Brand new information. So she's my second druid I've played back to back. And she's very different from my first iteration of a druid, my first druid, Willow. She was very traditional druid. Reyla is not very traditional druid.
No.
And it was getting to a point where I was like, I don't want to go down the same path I did with Willow.
Yeah.
For a lot of different reasons. And Reyla's a moon druid.
Just in case you missed it.
Moon druid.
Moon druid.
And so I spend a lot of combat in wild shape. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So then I just thought, you know what? Should I just go one into barbarian?
The barbarian.
Should I become the barbarian? And I did.
You did.
And I did. And I raged for the first time in the combat.
Yeah.
I was waiting to save it for like a really special moment, but turns out things just went really bad in this combat, so I had to. Bad. So yeah, I classed into barbarian, which, if you didn't know, a barbarian was the very first character I ever played.
Yeah.
And I vowed I would never play a barbarian again
I
because
feel
of
like
it.
You played a barbarian, then you went away from barbarian when it's a full caster.
I just wanted to get as far away from barbarian as I could.
But
yeah.
the thing is, every time we ever play like a game like Divinity or we play like World of Warcraft, the first thing that Margaret goes to is the warrior or the
like
barbarian. Because you just like that sort of get big
visceral
weapon,
getting in there and
do
just
big smash.
Exactly.
So I feel like you wanted a break, but I actually feel like
I go back to my roots, don't I? Yeah.
I could see you playing a barbarian.
I can also see me too. Me too. Honestly, me too.
Yeah, it may not be a barbarian, but I can definitely see you going. I feel like you like.
I do.
Like melee martial classes.
I really do. I really like being able to just get up in the fray.
Yeah.
And just not have to worry about doing necessarily the right thing or being too strategic, because I'm not good at that.
Bonk.
And just the big bonk.
The big bonk build.
Just the big bonk. So
just do the big bonk.
Just do the big bonk.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was kind of worried about going barbarian, because there's a lot of stigma around a barbarian, I feel like people are like, oh, it's so min-maxy, oh, it's metagamey or whatever. So I did make sure with you first that it was going to be okay with you.
I was totally fine with it.
I'm also I just don't play it like that. I'm just not that type of player. I'd like to think.
And I think more than anything, I think it's purely good for the character.
Yeah.
Because she is, you know, in terms of druids, she is very like a primal sort of being.
Yeah.
And I feel like it sort of lends into the rage. You took it for the rage. Like the whole like idea of, because it also relates to Margaret's story quite well. It's all about overcoming like instincts as an animal.
Yeah, because again, I promise we'll get into it at some point.
Yeah.
But one of the crux of her backstory is she's a moon druid. The whole point is it's a shock. I'm sorry to suddenly just drop that on you guys. I know that's shocking. I'm sorry. Take a minute if you need. Basically, there's a trial that goes on with her people.
Yeah.
And you have to wild shape for the first time. You have to stay in your form. If you can repel the instincts to just remain an animal, you get accepted into this faction.
Yeah, and if you don't,
you stay an animal.
You stay an animal.
You simply stay an animal and you resign to your natural instincts and you just...
It was very much like peeling druid back to its most like... It was very much just like druid is the story sort of thing at that point.
Definitely.
We tied it into the world with other things and like where you live and why you live there.
Yeah,
and
why it even happened. And my character's biggest fear is just being nothing more than an animal.
Nothing more than an animal.
She knows that there's more to her than that, but she can't help but feel like that because when she's in combat and when she's in form, she doesn't ever want to come back from it. So every time she has to fight her way to convince herself that, no, the easier route is probably just to stay an animal for the rest of your life, and a more probably like pleasurable life for her would be to do that. But there's been situations where she's had to fight back a transformation and she's turned on her friends. And I think when that started happening, I was like, this is a really good opportunity, I think, if I wanted to multi-class. Because I'd always been thinking about it.
Yeah, and also, you know, for the power aspect.
Yeah, of course.
It is a very strong multi-class.
Yes, yes.
At our table, there's nothing, that's not a taboo term.
Yeah, well, exactly. And, you know, taking a point in Barbarian as opposed to Druid, there was also things that I'm missing out on. I'm losing the CR2 beasts, for example. I'm losing... the third level spell slot. You know, there's going to be repercussions in the future where I'm going to miss out on a feat or an ASI, etc., etc. My flying forms will be pulled back a bit too.
Yeah.
But I think for my character...
I think it was right for the character more than anything else.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It's the shock of her being a moon druid.
Yeah,
the reverberations
sorry,
of the shock.
I was still taking... It was like a delayed reaction.
Exactly.
You know when the doctor hits your knee and then he goes...
Yeah. It was just you physically lashing. I understand.
It was just
it's shocking
a delayed
information.
reaction.
I get it. So yeah, I think for her, it was the right choice.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love the fantasy of the power. I absolutely want her to be strong. She's the tank. And first of all, she's the only melee.
Yeah, which is also another thing. So, you know, if it was everyone was melee and you're just up there like flanking and getting advantage all the time,
exactly.
But it's not like you've got a sorcerer, a cleric that plays at range, and a rogue that plays at range.
So it's just me.
So it is just you.
So sometimes I have to fend for myself,
It's more about the defense,
yes.
I think, for you than anything else.
Yes, definitely. And don't get me wrong, I love to pump damage. I love to do it.
Pumping damage is good
simply love it. I have no problem with saying I love to min-max my characters.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love to make my character as powerful as she can be because
nothing wrong with that.
I want her to be the main character because she is the main character. Yeah. And as long as she's not pulling away from anyone else in the group, because I would never want to do that, I think Barbarian was the right choice for her.
I agree.
And I'm really glad I did it.
Yeah.
And
we don't know. We don't know if we're going to go second level in Barbarian.
Yeah, well, Josh at the end, he asked, are you going to go more in Barbarian? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm not certain yet.
Second level's a big level though.
Reckless attack.
Reckless
isn't
attack
it?
is do you also get danger sense? Or
yes, you do get danger sense. Yeah.
Is that at level 2?
Yes, it is.
Let me just double check that.
It is. I checked.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'll check just anyway, just in case we're both wrong.
Just in case. It's like, what's danger sense?
Yeah.
Danger sense.
Barbarians don't get that.
Danger sense when you're unaware and someone tries to attack you.
Don't begin that again.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. If you watched last episode, you know what that is.
Yeah, Danger Sense. Yeah. And then obviously you get your primal path at third level.
Yeah, well, exactly.
You know, which is always nice to dip into.
It honestly, it truly depends on where her story goes, to be honest.
Yeah.
It all depends on that. So I'm not sure, but I'm really happy I took the point in it.
Yeah.
I was worried that I would potentially be judged for making the powerful move, but
who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I don't feel judged. So
good. Because there's no reason to be judged. It's your character. It's your game. You do what you want.
Thank you.
And you talk to me about it. And
the most important thing was I talked to you about it, and I absolutely made sure it'd be okay with you, and it wouldn't be too hard.
Well, no, it's a balance.
Exactly.
There's other ways to, make combat hard for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You have to think out of the box in different ways.
Of course.
Just not being able to down someone, it doesn't mean that it's hard to fight them.
No. Yeah. Absolutely. I completely agree.
I can exploit all of your other weaknesses.
No, my feelings. No! That's my biggest weakness. My feelings. There's been a lot of crying.
Yeah.
Just love a good cry. So. Yes, that is all I wanted to update the people on.
The vegetable chopper.
And
the dip into barbarian.
And your new phone. So you did have something to update people on.
I just forgot.
Yeah, well,
until this moment. Because I looked at the timer and I was like, that's a good looking new phone.
Well, without any further ado, we've been chatting on for about 20 minutes now.
25 minutes.
Shall we get on to today's topic, which is horror stories, specifically D&D horror stories. And these are once again all submissions.
Every single one of them?
Every single one of them is a submission. We have 9. So I think we have 9. I can't see the breakdown. We have an amount.
Nobody.
I know.
When you say a number,
I know.
Everyone just takes it just with a pinch of salt.
I know. We have an amount.
We have a number.
Today. We have a number.
A number of our stories.
Exactly. And they are
Margaret will tell you.
I will tell them. I will tell them all of you. I will tell them all to all of you. I will all tell them to. Oh my God! I've died.
Number 1.
Burger King foot lettuce. Yes. So these are all submissions. So we said it in the last episode. Oh my God! I cannot believe how many submissions we have.
So many submissions.
It's first of all. Again,
we thought we'd get like 1 or 2 here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
When we put it up, and like we could add. Oh, we're doing Am I the Assholes today?
Yeah,
we can put one in.
Can we
not just like do entire episodes.
I know.
The submissions.
I never thought we'd be able to do full episodes and submissions, and I think pretty much all of our episodes recently have been full submissions, right?
No, last one.
Oh no, that was half.
Unpopular opinion was half and half.
Yeah. But
we don't get as many unpopular opinions.
Yeah, which
it's more people like to tell us their stories, horror stories, Am I the Assholes, advice.
Yeah,
that's what
we love to hear your stories. So thank you. So if you ever have a story that you potentially want to be read on the podcast, please send it in. We have a Google form.
Yes,
it is
in the description.
Exactly. So without any further ado, this is horror story number 1. So this was sent in by Anonymous, and they go by they them.
Anonoblaster.
Jack.
I said it.
Oh my God.
I said it. Josh. I know you're watching.
This is your doing, Josh. So I'm never going to speak to you again, am I?
Until Wednesday.
Until Wednesday.
When you absolutely have to speak to him.
I absolutely categorically will speak to him.
Oh, when you message him in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, you're done. You're done. You're finished. So, hello. I just wanted to say that I'm absolutely enjoying the podcast, and it's becoming a highlight listening to it each episode that comes out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But before I ramble on and such, I'll get straight to my D&D horror story of my first big group play. When I moved into the city, I didn't know anybody. So to get out of the house after work, I would go to our local game shop. And after a short while of talking to some of the regulars and playing some short TTRPGs together, our friend, I'll call him X, talked about how he wanted to DM a long-term D&D game, and we were all for it. Talking about the characters, learning some more of the game, since we always did low-level characters for short one-shots. I was looking forward to playing this game with what I thought at the time was new friends.
Okay, well that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good at all.
It's a horror story.
Yeah, it is a horror story, true.
We decided we would meet at X's house and play for however long we wanted, so when the day came, it was mostly a fun day. I made a half-elf ranger, and when we got into a fight with a group of bandits with a caravan that we were escorting, I got flustered trying to go through my character sheet, looking at what I could do in the moment. I'm with you.
Oh, yeah.
I am with you.
The flusters happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Happens to the most experienced players, happens to brand new players, happens to everyone.
Always happen.
Yeah.
Always.
It's natural.
It is, absolutely. One thing I haven't mentioned yet in this story is that I have a speech impediment. I can't pronounce certain words, and when I get extremely flustered or excited, I stutter a lot, which is something that this group has seen in other TTRPGs we've played together. So when I start to stutter out about how I wanted to do something, I heard what I thought was chuckles on the other side of the table. When I looked up with a questioning look, the other player had hands up to their mouths, so I tried not to think about it and continued on. In the end, we won the fight, and even though I had an uneasy feeling, I pushed it away since I thought maybe I was overthinking it, and I shoved it away. Another 2 sessions would happen, and each time I would stutter or mispronounce stuff, I would always hear low snickers. So at the end of the session, I talked to the group asking if they were laughing when my speech impediment would happen, because it wasn't making me feel great when I would hear contained laughs, and it would only happen when I was stuttering. And I felt like I wasn't being taken seriously in any roleplay or group decision. The whole group basically said they never noticed it, I must be overthinking it, with X even saying, maybe the laughter we heard was from the vent that was connected to the living room where their roommates would hang out to play. Right.
Just being gaslit beyond belief there.
Absolutely gaslit. When I got home that night, X messaged me a long paragraph basically vouching for how great the other players are.
They sound
awesome.
Like
real
sound great.
They've all been friends for years before I came along, and that I shouldn't have accused the group of being bullies. I told him I didn't say anything about bullying, and after a long conversation about it...
Guilty conscience there.
I know. I thought we had settled it, and all was good in the group chat for the rest of the week, until we met up again for our next session. The session started with my ranger introduced to a new NPC, a lord of the land, to try to convince the lord to hire the group since monsters are migrating into his land, and he didn't trust the rest of the party since he was an elf. And then in brackets it says, which didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
So when we go to say our names to each other, X smiles at me and says a name filled with one of the letters I can't even say. I froze for a split second before I tried to say it in character. In brackets, I was stuttering and trying my best to say it, and the other players bursted out laughing when I tried.
Well, that's nice.
X said, since I wasn't saying the Lord's name right, also just to clarify, not the Lord.
The Lord.
Not the Lord. Lord of the land. It was making him feel like my character was making fun of him. So I had disadvantage on all charisma rolls to convince him to hire us.
I think there is somebody making fun of somebody. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's you making fun of that NPC.
I froze up, looking at X and the other players, and I started to shakily pack my stuff up. X tried to tell me I should learn to take a joke and not to be a snowflake.
I think this DM should learn to stop being an absolute asshole.
I think X needs to get a grip and learn how to treat people around him.
And the rest of the group.
And the rest of the group.
Not just X.
You all need a lesson in grace and decorum, to be honest. So I turned to him and I told him that I'm not sticking around to be the butt of a joke that I don't even know about, and that making fun of someone, that something that someone can't control, is never a joke.
Correct.
Especially since they knew how I felt about it.
Correct.
100%. When I got home, I left the group chat and I quit going to that store since I don't want nothing to do with them after that. Good. P.S. Now I have a good group that is super nice and patient with me, and it's some of the most fun I've ever had with a group of players at a new game shop.
Good.
I wouldn't let that experience keep me from playing a game I enjoy escaping to.
Very good. That's a good conclusion to a horrendous story.
That is so absolutely awful.
That's horrendous.
That is so cruel.
Making fun of somebody's speech impediment or stutter.
That is so cruel. And it's,
why? And to purposefully put letters in names that are hard for this person to say.
To literally look up and smile at them and be like,
and then
whatever
for all
the name
of them to burst out laughing.
For them to burst out laughing. Obviously, they've talked
about it.
They've all talked about it. They've obviously
all come together with this name
and been like, oh, this is going to be really funny. This is going to be
so funny.
And you know what? It's the fact. It's like you said. OP brought it up with them, and they were like, oh, no, we never laughed. Oh, we never noticed your stutter. Come on,
man. You
joking? You know what? I was going to say we're like 7 years old, but children are better behaved than this.
Oh, yeah.
Children know not to take the piss out of someone who has something that they literally can't
You
control.
want to know when the story just just exactly what you thought it was when they said snowflake.
And I know
that's the sort of absolute loser person that we're dealing with here. Oh, you're just a woke snowflake,
you're just a snowflake
because my shit jokes aren't funny to you.
Yeah, because my offensive shit jokes,
my rubbish sense of humor isn't funny to you.
Isn't funny to you.
I can't find any way to be funny apart from laughing at other people's
misery. Because
yeah,
I'm a miserable person too.
The only way I can be funny, because apart from that, I'm unimaginative and a complete
boring
fucking loser.
I know. What an absolute complete
Get a
loser.
grip, man.
OP, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And you know what? I absolutely cannot fucking stand. You should learn how to take a joke.
Man, no, you need to...
Listen, I have been told that my entire life. Every time because I am quite a sensitive person, but there's nothing wrong with being a sensitive person. I'm not even saying that OP is a sensitive person. I'm talking about myself purely here. I'm sensitive. If someone says something that makes fun of me, especially something I'm insecure about, something I can't control, if someone, even in jest, just takes the piss out of me and I get upset about it, and I say, and they come back with, you should learn to take a joke, it's like, you don't get to tell me.
You don't get to tell me what I should
what
find
upsets
funny.
me.
Yeah.
And you don't get to tell me that your joke is funny because you think it's funny.
Somebody who's lived with a speech impediment,
yeah,
or lived with a lisp,
yeah,
why do you get to tell them?
How is that funny?
Why do you get to tell them that they should find that funny about themselves?
Yeah, that's so funny. That's so funny.
This person said that they've gone to the group and they know that I am insecure about it.
Exactly, and it's the fact that OP said I'm insecure about it.
And they've made that known to the group.
And then they've gone out of their way to make a joke.
That is like. I can't explain it any more than that is just childish.
Just beyond pathetic.
It's
yeah.
like
It's worse than childish.
Kids at school would get together and just take the piss out of one person.
Just because they're stupid kids who don't know any better. But these are all adults who should know better.
Fuck
and
every single one of these people.
Absolutely, 100%.
These are the worst kind of people.
I completely
It is not up to you to tell somebody how to feel about something about themselves.
I just can't stand. Stop being such a snowflake.
You should stop being such a snowflake.
And do you know what?
Shut the fuck up.
There's a thing that I saw which sums it up perfectly. It's like, yes, I am sensitive, but you're fucking mean, and that's worse.
Yeah, 100%.
There's nothing wrong.
Like you are so unfunny and you are so uncreative
and you're so cruel.
And but the only thing that you think is funny and the only way that you can get a laugh out of your mates is to be this horrible to someone.
It's to joke about someone that you all find funny because they're different to you.
Fuck
lame.
You.
That's so fucking
you
lame,
are
man.
Pathetic.
You are pathetic.
And I hope you see this, and I hope you hear what we're saying, and I hope you fucking learn your lesson and you change, because there needs to be less people like you in the world.
Yeah.
Man, how is this still a thing?
How is
acting like this still a thing?
I don't know.
Grow up.
I know.
Grow up.
Get a grip and learn to respect the people around you.
Yeah.
We are all stupid fucking meat sacks that have a stupid little jelly brain that controls everything we do. And words hurt, man.
Yeah, man.
Words hurt.
They do.
We have just gone through literally the worst time in everyone's lives.
Yeah.
And I know you all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
2020 onwards has been the worst time for people in their lives ever. And we have seen the highest amount of words hurting.
Yeah.
So fucking get a grip.
Sort your fucking life out.
Yeah. OP, I'm so sorry that they did this to you.
I hope nobody ever plays D&D with this person ever again.
Absolutely. But I am so glad that you
good
are
on
now
you
in a
for
good
just
group.
Moving forward.
Exactly. Good on you for not letting it keep you down.
And just so you know, nobody here would say things like that to you.
Absolutely never.
You are safe here.
You are safe here.
And this community will never be like that towards you.
All of our friends will treat you with the respect you deserve. Because you're simply just a human being like all of us. There is nothing different about you.
And anybody who's watching this who thinks that it's okay to take piss out of someone's insecurities, it's not. And don't do it. Before you even start, just don't do it.
Yeah, agreed. If you think it's okay to call someone a snowflake because they disagree with your stupid, shitty jokes, or that you think people need to lighten up,
the thing is,
you are not in the right place.
As soon as somebody says snowflake or woke as an insult,
I can't take them seriously.
I just can't take it seriously.
It's
just pathetic.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Snowflake. All right. Oh, no,
cool.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll stop. I'll stop even talking to you because you are clearly not worth anyone's time.
Absolutely not. Oh man, we started off with a sizzling one. That was a spicy one.
Is the next one just
that was spicy?
I don't have my blood pressure can take being that angry the entire time.
I'll let you be the judge.
Oh, no.
I will let you all be the judge.
Go on.
So this is sent in by Anonymous, and they go by she, her.
Okay.
So this happened about 3 years ago when I first started playing D&D. I was playing a Tempest Cleric, and everyone was level 12, and this was also on the 5e system.
Okay.
Now to the actual story. We were mid-battle against the BBEG. I said I wanted to do Divine Intervention and wanted to heal those closer to me. So I rolled my percentile dice and achieved intervention. Or so I thought.
Okay.
The DM stops me and asked me why I rolled a percentile instead of a d20. I was confused until he explained further that he does Divine Intervention differently, which I think is probably a normal thing. I guess people probably do these things differently, right?
I mean,
it's common for people to
homebrew a rule. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But I mean...
Yeah, yeah.
Don't find out literally after you've cast the spell and then roll the dice.
Like,
actually, I know you've succeeded, but I do it differently.
So instead of what it said in the book, I had to roll a d20. If it was higher than my level by at least 2, then it automatically happened. But if it wasn't, then I lost all action economy and took 2 points of exhaustion for trying to meddle with forces out of my control. He then... And then he had to roll to see if my deity would even respond to my call. And if the deity didn't, then my PC would take just 1 point of exhaustion instead of 2, but I still lost my action economy. 2 levels exhaustion. That's pretty brutal.
But if it succeeds, but the deity doesn't respond,
then
there's two then jump through. Okay.
Well, actually, after jumping through all the hoops that were never mentioned beforehand, I lost the call from the deity because he rolled a nat 1. Which in his books means I still took 2 points of exhaustion and lost all my actions.
Sounds like this person's making it up as they go along.
Absolutely. I died directly after this due to being forced into losing action economy. I was the only cleric, and I suspected he hated me for picking Tempest, as he always made it extremely hard on my PC to do anything but be the healer of the group. We ended up losing that fight against the BBEG, and he wouldn't even let us keep our sheets after we died. Once we died, he took the sheets outside and tossed them into the fireplace so we couldn't use them outside of his game. OP.
What the fuck?
That got so incredibly weird so quickly.
So the thing is, right?
Well, sorry,
go on.
No,
is there any more?
There's no more, but I was going to say, for everyone who doesn't know what Divine Intervention is, because I didn't, I am going to really quickly let you know exactly what Divine Intervention is and what you get for it.
Okay.
Would you like me to do that after you've said whatever you've said?
No, you can go for it, because I know what Divine Intervention does.
Yeah.
And I was about to explain something that confused me, but so you can explain.
Okay, so Divine Intervention, it's a cleric thing, and you get it at level 10.
Yeah.
And you can call out to your deity to intervene on your behalf when your need is great.
Yeah.
So employing your deity, sign up now, get them on the tax roll.
Yeah, get a contract signed.
No, yeah. Imploring your deity's aid requires you to use your action.
Yeah.
Describe the assistance you seek and roll a percentile dice. If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level, your deity intervenes.
Yeah.
The DM chooses the nature of the intervention. If your deity intervenes, you can't use this feature again for 7 days.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can use it again after you finish a long rest. So it's similar, but with literally none of the downsides.
Yeah, but also, if they're level 12, and you got to roll a D100.
Yes.
That's like 12 out of 10. You got to roll 12 or less.
Which is not great odds.
They aren't great odds.
They're not great odds.
So for them to be like, for the DM to be like,
roll a d20.
Roll a d20, and it's too high than your level, which is 14 and above.
14.
That's a far easier check to succeed. So I was like, okay, that sounds all right. That sounds like them actually making it easier.
in the player's favor.
But then why would you make it easier to achieve and then just take all of that and then chuck it out the window?
Yeah.
Why would you then be like,
to put it in the fireplace and burn it?
Stick it in the fireplace so nobody else can have it.
Yeah.
Like, to then, like, you've already used your action and burnt this. Is it a feature or a spell?
This is a feature. You get it at 10th level as a cleric.
To burn that feature, and then it's done for 7 days. Even if it fails, is that what it is?
So only if it succeeds, you can't use it for 7 days.
But
if it
can use it the
fails,
next day.
you can use it the next day. Yeah.
So in combat, you've used your action. to then fail.
Yeah.
If you don't get it.
Yeah.
Which already
sucks.
Which already sucks.
Yeah.
But
it's probably worth the gamble.
So then to then have your bonus action and then everything else taken away from you, and then to then gain 2 points of exhaustion. That means you're going to have disadvantage on all attacks.
Well, and it's also like...
And then if you did succeed that...
And then the DM rolls to see if the deity hears your call.
Yeah.
And then they fail, you still take 1, but then if you get a nat 1, you still take the 2.
Yeah.
So that isn't really stacking up.
I'm going to be honest and say this person was definitely making it up
on the fly.
On the fly.
Definitely.
Because they succeeded and they were like, panic. The panic bells were going ding, 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 ding,
yeah.
ding, ding. So they were just like, I know.
Yeah.
I'll make up a homebrew rule right now.
Because nobody else sure that they don't
Nobody else is a cleric, I imagine. So nobody else would have ever asked.
OP
and that's why it's never come up.
OP said no one else was a cleric. Yeah. It was just them. And to be fair, OP says, I suspect that the DM resented me for picking... Oh, sorry. Don't know why I apologise to my drink.
Picking Tempest Cleric.
I don't really know what Tempest Cleric...
Was it resent for picking the Tempest Cleric because the group needed a healer, they picked Cleric and then wanted to play DPS? Because you can play DPS as a Cleric.
OP's words exactly. He hated me for picking Tempest, as he always made it extremely hard on my PC to do anything but be the healer of the group.
Like, we have a Cleric in our party.
Yeah.
Abby.
Yes. Yeah.
She is a DPS.
Yeah, she's a blood cleric.
She's not a healer.
Yeah.
I mean, she does heal.
She does heal.
Thank
God, but she does.
Thank God she does because you guys take a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But and I give her magic items, that had to do with her.
Yeah.
Her damage,
yeah,
because she wants to play damage.
Yeah,
I don't want her to play a healer if she doesn't want to play healer.
It's not fair for your DM to push you into a role.
No,
like we've said it before, you don't need designated roles.
You don't need designated roles.
You absolutely do not. There's ways around it.
If you're gonna put in a homebrew role like this, if you're gonna have a cleric play at your table and then you want divine intervention to work differently, that's fine.
Yeah,
but you got to tell them before.
Yeah, you can't just make it up as you go. You can't just suddenly drop the roll like that.
You cannot. Even if that's how you want to rule it, even if that's how you've ruled it since day one in your DM and career, and you're 10 years deep, if you didn't tell them before that session and they use divine intervention and then they succeed, you can't change the rule.
And they're level 12, so they've had divine intervention for 2 levels now as well.
You can't change the rule.
And let's say you do that for whatever you do that for whatever reason. Touche, nice. And make sure you explain it to the player, make them aware of everything, every single stipulation, and then let them decide.
Yeah,
I don't do that
in that moment. Yeah. If you'd rolled the percentile and then they'd said, "Oh no, that's not how I rule it." Already not good.
Yeah,
because they should have been clear before.
They should have been, yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh no, yeah, roll a d20." At that moment, you should have been like, "Oh no, I don't want to do it." Then,
yeah.
They should have told you before you even rolled that d20. By the way, if you fail, it's 2 points of exhaustion.
Exactly.
You lose all of your action economy.
Exactly.
Even if you get through, I have to roll for your deity, and if your deity fails, then you still get 1 point of exhaustion. Exactly. And if you roll a natural 1, you will also
still get the 2 points of exhaustion.
All of that should be explained to you before you try.
Absolutely.
And if you don't want to do it,
you shouldn't be allowed to.
You should be allowed to stop doing it.
Yeah. And OP says their character died because of this. Like the man, and the bit at the end with the just throwing the sheets in the fire.
Why? It's as if this story wasn't bad enough.
No, yeah, that's so weird. It sounds like there was a problem with this DM who didn't want to be honest with their player and for some reason obviously didn't want them to use divine intervention, but they should have said.
Should we roll D100 now?
Yeah, shall we? Go on.
See if we can get less than 12.
Yeah. Then shall I roll a D20 as well?
57.
Right, I'll roll a d20.
No, I'll roll a d20 now.
All right.
And then you roll a d20 afterwards.
11.
That's a 7, isn't it?
No.
11.
It's an 11.
Wow.
That sounds like I'm cheating. It's not.
That's not how it works. Though.
Oh, right.
You have to roll the d20.
Okay, yeah.
16.
So fail?
So I succeeded because it was above 14.
Oh, well, there you go.
12.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh,
well, that's cocked.
7. I fail.
You fail.
Man. Well. No. If it's lower than your cleric level, you succeed. If it's higher, you don't.
That's in the original roll. He said if it's higher than 2 plus your...
Right. Got you. My arms can't reach. Can you put them back for me?
Oh, you got little short
Yeah, I've got little short arms. Yeah, we decided to keep the dice tray out because I just like the way it looks.
Yeah.
So
we had it out for the episode that's going live right now.
Right now, when we rolled dice to make random characters, which, by the way, was probably one of the funnest videos we have ever done, and we really hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really love that episode.
That was one of our
favorite.
favorite.
So much fun to do.
Loved that. And I really like the way the dice looked out, so we've left the dice out. I like the mess. So, yes, OP. What the fuck?
This is a mess.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
That just so you know, that shouldn't have happened to you.
Oh yeah.
Like, the spell shouldn't have changed. Well, sorry, the ability shouldn't have changed.
Mm-hmm.
You should have been able to renege on what you said you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And
your sheet shouldn't have been burned.
And your sheet shouldn't have been
Your
burned.
sheet shouldn't have been burned. That's so weird. Obviously, there's some issues with this DM. Well, okay. Thank you very much for your submission, okay.
That wasn't quite as bad as the first one.
No. It wasn't as blood boiling. It was just more like, what the fuck? So, this is submitted. I don't know why I was saying it like that. This is submitted once again by Lounging. Oh!
Is submitted.
Woo! Wow, I've never seemed more old.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! So this has been submitted by LoungingLemur, and we have actually had a submission from LoungingLemur before as well. So thank you very much.
I can't remember which one it was.
It was the rogues are against my personal beliefs.
Right, yeah.
That's what it was.
That's a staple in our
we
everyday vocabulary.
We regularly
now.
say that. It's just in my personal beliefs. So thank you very much, LoungingLemur, for going out of your way to send us 2 submissions.
Yeah,
thank you very
much.
much.
So much.
So it was free RPG day at the game shop. Oh man!
I like how you just gave up.
I did.
At the game.
Yeah. I'm not hot. I'm sweating.
Take your jacket off, then. Take your Macklemore off.
I'll be right back. I'm going to take my jacket off. Hello, everyone. I am back. I'm sorry. I just got too hot.
Took off your Macklemore.
Took off my Macklemore. I actually changed my t-shirt as well. So I've been sleeping in this t-shirt for the past 3 or 4 days. So if you see food and crust on it, no, you don't.
Just
all right.
No,
you don't. Don't bring attention to it.
Don't say how many food stains you can see in the comments. Don't see where the crumbs are. Don't say any of those things in the comments about the t-shirt.
Smelly t-shirt.
Definitely don't do that.
No, please. Okay, back to the story. It was free RPG day and the game shop.
What is wrong?
I'm sorry.
Free day in the game shop.
I even had to take a break because I couldn't read it right. Come on.
Come on, you got this. Look at me.
I might not be able to read this first sentence out.
Why?
Because it's giving me the giggles.
It's in your head.
Yeah.
This is getting the better of you.
It was free RPG day, and the game shop I go to was promoting.
Have you ever seen anyone attack a sentence that violently?
RPGs that anyone could join.
Sorry, I didn't hear any of it. I'm sorry.
After calling to confirm, I drove an hour to the game shop.
Okay.
Only one table hadn't started yet, and they were playing a Pathfinder Society session, which I don't normally play, but I do know how to play Pathfinder because I ran a Pathfinder game for a while.
Okay.
I'm talking really aggressively now.
No, you're talking fine.
Thank you.
Everyone's like,
please stop. Like they're being gunned down every word. Every word's another bullet.
Stop shouting at me.
Okay. I was told by the DM that he didn't allow rogues, but I could be a bard.
Rogues are against my personal belief.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same person. And he gave me the choice of 2 pre-made bard characters. LoungingLemur, I'm so sorry.
LoungingLemur?
Yes, Jack.
It was LoungingLemur about the rogues.
Yes, it was. Yes, I thought you drew that.
No, I was just saying it. It's been so long since that happened because you went upstairs and took your jacket off and then put your t-shirt on.
Oh, no, yes. Wow. Yes. That's why I said I wonder if it's the same person.
So the thing is, LoungingLemur wanted to play a rogue in the last one, but there was already a rogue, so they played a warlock.
Yeah.
And now they're coming in to play a rogue and they're like...
then they have to play a bard. That's strange.
Anybody who ever plays with LoungingLemur from this day forth has to just let them be a rogue.
Let her be a rogue. Come on.
Okay?
Please.
You have to.
For her sake, let her.
Let her.
Okay, so I chose one of the bad characters. I changed the name and gender, and it was good to go.
Okay.
Now the actual horror, apart from me stumbling on your story for the past 5 minutes.
I think you've done it flawlessly.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks, babe.
Jeez, babe.
I'm used to being the only female player at a D&D table, but I'm always happy when there's another man. I feel that.
I don't, but I can understand.
I really feel that.
Try to understand.
Yeah. And there was another woman at this table. At first I was happy, but the way she treated me was awful. I learned through the 4 hours we played that this was her usual D&D group, and I guess she felt like I was encroaching on her territory. She continuously made snide remarks and kept yelling at me if I did anything she felt was wrong.
Jesus. Yelling?
When... man. Oh, man. What am I doing? It's nearly 9 p.m. here. I say that as if I go to sleep at 9 p.m.
You are old.
I am old. Right, I'm not going to mess this up anymore because this is a serious story.
That's a bold claim for how it's gone so far. Are the letters just all jumbling up on the page?
I'm confused. When we were trying to find a missing person, I went to their home and attempted to open the door to see if it was open or if the lock had been destroyed. And she yelled at me, and I mean actually raising her voice angrily, that I wasn't a rogue and I couldn't just break into people's houses.
Does she hate rogues as well?
What's going on?
Why does everyone hate rogues? Is it something to do with Pathfinder?
I don't know.
Are rogues and Pathfinder just base or something?
Just base. I wonder if
that means best in slot, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
From World of Warcraft,
yeah.
We say it all the time. Sorry.
I wonder if maybe because the DM didn't allow rogues and this was her regular group, maybe they all just had
have like a bad taste in the mouth about rogues. Yeah.
Yeah. At another point, we went to a cave and I wanted to go in, and she refused and said we were wasting time. Luckily, 2 of the other players wanted to go in as well, and the 3 of us did, while her character waited outside and she, the player, huffed and complained.
Okay.
When I found a scroll in said cave, she yelled at me and said that I couldn't take it and that I was thieving and couldn't do it.
In a cave?
Yeah,
a cave belonged to someone.
Thief. Both of these yellings were completely out of character, by the way. These people have an issue with thieving, and which I mean, yes, fair enough. But like, something strange.
I mean, it's D&D.
I was going to say in real life.
Yeah.
But in D&D, you steal whatever you want. We were almost to the hour 3. I don't know why I said it like that.
We were almost to the hour 3.
What's going on?
Like if Yoda was reading poetry.
Stop it! I can't laugh anymore. I can't have any more funny things in my head. No, stop! Oh man, we're an hour in.
We were almost to the hour 3.
Why is your face like...
Almost. We were almost to the hour 3.
It's like I'm not gonna mess up anymore. I'm honestly, I'm genuinely so sorry. This is a serious story, and I'm just
doing great. Doing great.
And my tiny little mushy brain can't process your words.
Smooth brain.
Not a wrinkle.
Completely smooth.
Not a single fold or wrinkle.
We were almost to the hour 3
when the DM called a break. After he came out of the bathroom, I pulled him aside and told him I couldn't handle being constantly yelled at.
What's fucking funny about that? Any kid. Good God.
This happened last time.
Do you want to flip around and let me read the rest of it?
No, I really don't.
Are you sure? What do you mean?
No, I don't mean.
What do you mean you really don't?
Do you want to try? Will you try for me? Will you try for me?
I think I might have to.
We're almost to the hour.
We're almost to the hour 3.
Do you see where we're at?
No, it doesn't say we were almost to the hour 3.
It doesn't. She didn't write it like that. Right.
We were almost to hour 3 when the DM called a break. Stop laughing. thing. After he came out of the bathroom, I pulled him aside and told him I couldn't handle being constantly yelled at and mistreated, and thanked him for letting me join, but I was going to head home now. Next part.
Why did you scroll so slowly?
He actually asked if I could please stay, because this was the second time the party had attempted this adventure and had quit the first time, and they got further this time with me. I reluctantly agreed and stayed, and any time she went to yell at me, he stopped her, finally.
Good.
Yeah. We got to the end of the adventure and ended up needing to use the scroll I had gotten from the cave, Speak with Plants, that only bards could use.
Well then.
Without me, that party would have failed that adventure for a second time, and yet, almost the entire time, I had been mistreated by another female player.
See, thank you for that, Jack. You know what?
LoungingLemur, that was for you.
I needed you to do that. Thank you. Sorry. I'm so sorry about that. But no more. I'm not even looking at you anymore. That, you know what? The main reason I wanted to put this in is because, and I actually said this to you beforehand because I let you know that there was some sort of story like this. I didn't tell you exactly what it was, but listen. Us, women, girls, female presenting people, we have it so fucking hard in the TTRPG community.
I agree.
I don't care if anyone disagrees with that because it's simply the truth.
Well, the people that would disagree with that
are the people who are contributing.
Probably aren't female.
Yeah, and are contributing to the issue,
yes.
I would say. And I know none of you guys would ever think like that. I know in our community, I know you know it's true.
Yeah,
and
it is true.
A lot of our community are female presenting people.
Yeah.
So to go into a space like this that is already so unwelcoming to girls.
Yeah, and it's scary to go there.
It's so scary. It's so scary to go as a female where it feels like everything could harm you. Everything dislikes you. Everything wants you to be a version of what they want you to be.
Yeah.
And they don't care about you. It's so hard going into a male-oriented space, and this applies to anything, not just D&D.
Mm-hmm.
And then to go in and to be like, oh my God, there's another girl.
Yeah.
There's another girl that even if you and that girl don't necessarily get along or you don't have the same interests, just the fact that you are both women in that space is a connection enough. And I don't really know how to put it into words. And I know you might not necessarily understand what I mean when I say that.
And, it's hard for me to speak of this because I'm not female.
Yeah.
So, I can only offer my opinion, but, I feel like that carries far less weight than yours. So
No, of course it doesn't.
But on the subject, I can't speak from experience.
Yes.
That you can.
Yeah, very much so. So, I can't really put it into words properly what I mean when I say you have a connection
Right,
just
camaraderie just by being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hey, any of you girls listening and any of you female presenting people, you will know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So to go in and then to have that one person who you're like, we are on the same page. We, just by default of who we are, we know what it's like to be here.
Yeah.
And we know that it's different.
Yeah.
And then for them to treat you worse than the other people are.
It sounds like
devastating. That is beyond devastating. That feels like ultimate rejection at its highest level.
And like you said, like in the post said, it definitely it sounds like this person felt like you were encroaching on their space.
Which, listen. It can be hard when you're the only girl in a space like this. Maybe you've had to prove to the people around you that you deserve to be there, or that the people around you, because you're the only girl, you're kind of the token. And I understand what that's like, and I understand that it can be scary. Change is scary. It can be scary introducing someone new.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless of any of those feelings, you have to put like that sense of camaraderie and that sense of togetherness and supporting other women above any feelings you have like that. You simply have to, because if you don't, then you're just as bad as the men who don't welcome you and who treat you differently.
And it's like you said just then, like if that other girl that was there had gone through that, like, and you know, it's like we've said before on the channel, why would you want to put somebody else through
what you've been through? It's like,
if it wasn't a good experience,
why
not
would
that
you?
we're obviously we're just assuming that we don't know.
We are assuming that 100%.
Yes,
we are.
If you know, if that other person had gone through that, why would they make somebody else feel like that?
Exactly.
Just sort of like
it's like, oh well, I went through it, so they deserve to go through it too.
Yeah.
That is just not the right way.
That's just bad. That's just bad mentality.
That is not how a community grows. That is not how community thrives. That's simply not how. So, LoungingLemur, I'm so sorry that you went into this.
Yeah, I am
and
too.
You were treated badly by someone who you thought would be on the same page as you. That sucks. And again, if maybe you're a woman in the same position as this, or maybe you're the woman who it is your space and you are intimidated by another woman coming in and you think they're going to take away from XYZ or they're going to change XYZ, just know that they're not.
Yeah.
That's not what they want. It's okay to be protective of what you have, but you have to be protective over other women over that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of really all I have to say about that.
Said very well.
Thank you. We have to support other women. And you men as well. You have to support us too.
That's what I can say.
Yeah. You have to support us as well.
Us men need to... because it is, you know, like, we shouldn't... Like I've said before, we shouldn't have to, because it should be a safe space for everyone.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
You know,
but it's just
unfortunately, the things that have happened in the past have not made it a safe space for
just not
female presenting people.
And again, all of these horror stories, I cannot stress enough how 50% of them are all horror stories of men doing horrible things to women.
So, you know, make it a safe space for any new female or female presenting person coming into your community, coming into your game, coming into a new space, in any walk of your life, because I'll tell you right now, guys, it's fucking far scarier for them than it is for us.
Yeah, it is. It truly is.
It just is. That's just the world that has been created. It's been created by men for men.
Yes, absolutely. And women are just objects and commodities that...
And that needs to change.
It does.
And, you know, we are changing. You can see the change is happening.
Absolutely.
Which is good, but it's not there yet. So we still need to do our best to, you know, help our female people that we are around to make it a safe space, make it easier for them. You know, look out for them because, you know, their experiences everywhere are so much harder than yours as a man, and you don't understand and I don't understand, but all we can do is try. That's all we can do, because we can't sympathize, because our lives are far easier just because of how we were born. It's just how it is.
You hit the nail on the head. And well, I just want to say, like, for me, it's men like you that make it easier for women. Like, it's men like you who are willing to say these things, and I know for a fact, if anyone spoke to me like that or anyone made me feel unwelcome, you would be the first person
of course I would.
to tell them to basically fuck off.
Yeah, of course I would.
And
I do for any one of you, just so you know.
I know. And it's not just me saying that, it's so many women commenters have commented saying, wow, I just want to say thank you to Jack for being willing to actually, like, consider the fact that it is different for women, and to be able to look at other men and say, you need to be better. So, from me.
And, you know, as I said, as every single time I get one of these comments, it's literally the least I could do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing anything more than I should be doing than just bringing awareness to it, and also trying to help other guys, because, you know, that's not the way that every man has been taught to think or feel.
I know,
unfortunately,
exactly. That's the problem.
By society.
It's society. The problem is society. Yes, of course it is.
Made men have to think a different way.
Of course it is.
That's like, literally, like I said, like, you don't have to thank me. It's literally the least I can do, and it's literally that any guy in this community or male presenting person in this community can do.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Thank you.
It's okay.
Thanks, baby.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
I love you too.
Okay.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Sure.
Yep. That was a roller. That was a roller coaster. I think I need to get some help. I think I should call someone. I think. Oh, that was a roller coaster. And you know what? I'm not going to apologize actually for having that conversation again and having that talk again, because so many of you, especially in like the last horror stories when we did, so many people were like, "You need to stop apologizing for bringing light to these things because people need to hear it, and it's good that you're doing it." So
thank you for being so accommodating towards us,
for being the people who we want around us, and thank you for being the change in the community that we need to see and that we want to see. So thank you.
Sick to be here.
It is.
It's sick, isn't it? Because it is. Like, just feels good because, you know, when me and Margaret set out to make the podcast, that was like the main thing that we wanted was to like create that. And we thought, you know, it was be hard because, you know, the internet's a horrible place.
Yeah. But it's also a very beautiful, flourishing place with the right people.
And so far, you know, apart from a handful of situations, like we're not getting any of that. It is just a great place to be with you guys.
You guys have just absolutely welcomed us with open arms.
Yeah.
You are so willing to listen to us, and you interact with us, and you take in what we say, and you teach us.
Yeah.
Which
we love.
We just didn't expect.
Yeah.
Well, I actually said to you today, God, my opinion on so many things has changed since we started the podcast.
Like mostly about D&D, but other things as well.
Of course. Awesome. So thank you.
Yeah.
So I won't apologize. So thank you. All right. God, can I handle any more?
What number is this?
I don't know.
Is this 4?
I don't know. I didn't write numbers down.
That's probably a good thing.
That is probably a good thing. I do think this is 4. Genuinely, I do think this is 4 out of 9.
Okay.
So, this was sent in by Anonymous, and they go by she, her.
Anonoblaster.
I don't have the energy to deal with that right now. I'm exhausted.
I'm emotionally drained.
I am spent. So, she, her started playing D&D 3 years ago. Okay. I started in a campaign that was run by a friend. It was fine at first, but he is a rules lawyer. The party was made up of myself, the DM's girlfriend, and 2 mutual friends. 3 of us had never played before. There were many times where we would try something cool or silly, and we were told, no, it's not rules as written, or no, you're metagaming. Man.
Feels pretty bad.
Especially as a new player, that feels real bad. He would even go as far as Googling things we asked and quoting tweets from Jeremy Crawford that ruled in his favour. Examples. Our druid asked, in character, if anyone was hurt after battle, and she was told she was metagaming by asking. I was told that in character as well.
Asking if your
friends are hurt.
Your fellow adventurers, if they are hurt.
Your friends who you probably care deeply for.
Who you've just seen be stabbed by goblins in front of you.
Literally consumed by kobolds.
Whoa!
First of all, that's not how we play the game.
We don't ask.
We don't heal.
We don't ask questions here.
This is an echo chamber where we don't ask any questions. I was told no when I asked if my character, a Warlock Bard multiclass, bought a loot while in town. It was the session after the shopping episode, and I was told no because you weren't actively looking for it. Even though I had told him when I multiclassed that I wanted one and mentioned I was going to get one during the shopping episode. What difference is a loot going to make?
Why are these the things that you don't allow?
We don't ask questions.
And we don't have loot.
We don't have loot. No questions asked.
No questions asked. Jeremy Crawford says no loots.
So during the shopping episode, I got a curse/magic item and was really excited to use it. The Demonomicon of Igvilf, for those who are curious. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because literally last night in Jack's session, we learned that quite a key player in Matthew's backstory is called Igvilf.
It's not. It's
canon,
not.
No, yeah. You did have to explain to me that it's.
She's just a very prominent. She goes by another name that Margaret didn't know.
I didn't. I have since worked it out.
Yes, she goes by a different name, and she's just a named like NPC or whatever in like lots of D&D lore.
Yeah.
and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and I just fancy putting somebody named in the campaign.
Yeah.
She is absolutely not the person that she is.
Is this in
the
case
real
any of
lore.
our party are watching and
Yeah,
they're like,
and
"Ooh."
she is not anything that you have read about or anything like that before. She's completely different. She's just, it's just cool to have somebody.
Is in the likeness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody who's like named in the D&D lore.
And she's hot.
She is.
She's hot.
Super hot.
She's pretty hot. So Igvelf, love that. What a weird coincidence that Igvelf is mentioned when we literally just for the first time uncovered it. Anywho, sorry, Anon, I know that you probably you didn't mean to do that. I never asked to do any of the. I was never asked to do any of the roles associated with it, and was often discouraged from using any of the spells in it. It was like I got the item and nothing happened. What's the point in having it?
That's a super cool.
Yeah.
item to get as well.
I can only imagine.
Like really, really, really cool.
I can only imagine. I had some real life stuff come up and had to miss the last hour of sessions for a while. A few months later, our group ended up falling apart due to blatant favoritism of the DM's girlfriend and some other issues associated with the DM. And in brackets, that's a story for another time. Submit it.
Yeah.
Submit
Please get that story in.
I found out shortly after the DM was secretly making the rolls for me while I was away, and he told everyone not to tell me because I couldn't separate myself from the character and I metagame too much.
Yeah, you do ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, you do. You
buy a lot of loots and you
ask a lot of questions,
Do you
actually.
know what the worst part is?
Go
you
on.
ask a lot of questions about loots.
So, listen,
That's
a black mark.
That's a fucking cardinal sin.
That's a black mark. This happened after I told my DM I wasn't enjoying my character and wanted to either kill her off or use the cursed item to hook into a new character to play. I did all of the footwork and created a backstory for the new one that perfectly linked her to my old one. It even left the ability to continue whatever path the character was on. I was told, well, I wrote this character in, so you need to finish her story before you switch. I put a lot of work into this, and I want to see it through. I was annoyed, but I agreed begrudgingly. I was given the option to switch a couple of things in the meantime. I agreed, then realized I had to jump through a million hoops to even do that. All in all, it was an awful experience, and I will never let him DM a game for me ever again. We are now both players in a different campaign, and he's more tolerable, but still a rules lawyer. There's a lot more than happened, but that situation almost made me quit D&D.
There's a lot of things going on there.
There's a lot of things going on there. Once again, just weird behavior.
Like, when you were like rules lawyer, I was like, you know, some people like to play by the rules, and some DMs really like to stick to the rules, and when the rules become not as important, they sort of feel like, well, what's the point in having them?
What's the point in having the rules? I understand that.
I get that.
However,
I don't personally play like that.
I'm
going
to say it. I'm going to say it.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to say it.
Oh no. What are you going to say?
Rules lawyers. The worst types of players.
Are they?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yep, I do.
Why?
You know what? It all feeds back into, you can rules lawyer. You can, like you said, you can like the rules. And I completely understand if you get too far away from the rules. It feels like, what's the point? I get that.
Yeah.
I also completely understand wanting to abide by the rules. That's why they're there. However, when I say rules lawyers are the worst, I specifically mean the type of rules lawyer who will stop you and be like, actually, no. Actually, it's like this. And then they will pull up the ability. They will pull up the spell.
Do you mean more as a player?
Oh, yeah, I mean more as a player.
Not the DM?
No? What do you mean?
So if that person was the DM...
That would be completely different, right?
Yeah. So it's a player that you're
it's a player.
About. Right,
sorry.
okay.
Yes, if I didn't clarify that. It's
No, I think you did. I just wanted to make sure.
Right, yes. The type of player. Literally, and especially if the player is going to the DM and the DM is doing what... We've said this before. If the DM is doing, like, I don't know, a monster, and it doesn't have a certain ability that player thinks they know, and they're like, actually, fire should do this, XYZ. Like... worst type of player.
Like,
rules lawyers who use the rules to make people have a worse time. Get in the bin. I will die on that hill.
That's probably a fine hill to die on, and I think I agree with you, to be honest. But I think, you know, there's a way to go about being a rules lawyer.
Of course there is.
There's a way to be a rules lawyer that doesn't sap the fun out of the game for everyone else.
Of course there is.
But it's a fine line to walk, I think.
It's all in attitude as well.
Yeah.
It's all in being like, oh, you know what? I don't know if that's exactly right. Like, and be like, oh, maybe check that.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, but it's the rules lawyers who just go out of their way.
Just stop you mid-sentence.
Who stop you.
Yeah.
And then, or when you're saying something and they think you're wrong, you can see them Googling the thing.
Don't do that.
Get a grip.
For the love of God, don't Google the people's things.
Don't Google people's stuff, because you have no idea
You
what
have no
the
idea.
situation is.
The player, that player in the DM could have an understanding that it works differently, and then you can look very, very foolish in that moment.
Very foolish.
But also, when we're talking about being a rules lawyer, we aren't talking about not asking if your players are hurt.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And when we're talking about being a rules lawyer...
No.
We don't talk about buying loot in the shopping session.
I'm talking about buying loots.
Like...
Loots.
Why? Why?
Yeah. And again, it's different when the DM's a rules lawyer. However, it also sounds like the DM is doing this in a really fucking annoying way.
Why would you not... If you're the healer... or somebody with healing capability, and you just come out of a fight. When you come out of the fight, why wouldn't you ask your friends
I
if
know.
they're hurt?
Why wouldn't you ask?
Why would that be against the rules?
That would be what would happen in real life.
Why would you give somebody a Necronomicon
and not let them have it?
And not let them roll?
And then the weirdest thing is, she says, I had to miss the last few hours of a few sessions, so the DM would roll the dice for me.
Why?
That's weird.
What if the character didn't want to do that? What if the character didn't want to open up the book and read anything today?
I'm not quite certain on what it means to roll the dice for a Necronomicon.
I'm not. I've never given out a Necronomicon.
No, it's happening again.
A Lepronomicon.
It's happening again.
And I've never given out a Necronomicon.
Right, yes.
But I know it is a particularly potent magic item.
Yeah. So I'm assuming... OP says I was never asked to do any of the roles associated with it. Yeah. So I'm assuming...
Well, especially if it's a cursed magic item.
Yeah.
By the way, love a cursed magic item.
You do love a cursed magic item.
Love a cursed magic item.
Yeah.
I don't like to make them too cursey. I like them to be like, maybe... not like you cast a spell, you take lots of damage.
Yeah.
That's not that fun.
Yeah.
But,
So there has to be some...
You had one in our first campaign.
I did.
Where it was a staff.
Yeah.
And when you cast the spell, because she was obviously a druid.
Obviously.
Like, difficult terrain grew around her, like vines and roots. Like,
at first, I was really upset about it.
But actually,
you
used it quite tactically.
That ended up being really, really good tactically. Yeah.
I know. That was the point.
Yeah. But, sorry. We totally went off on a tangent there with me being like, I hate rules lawyers. And also, if you're a rules lawyer, no, I don't hate you.
No, but the thing is, you can be a rules lawyer.
There is a way to do it.
Maybe bring it up at the end of the session.
Yeah, there's
totally if there's something that was wrong.
Yeah.
But as we've said before, it's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're a rules lawyer and you think this is the right way to do it. If the DM rules it differently, it doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter what you want to say.
Yeah.
Because it's the DM's decision.
Yes. And to get onto the latter half of this, of OP saying, I wasn't enjoying my character, I wanted to change her killer off, etc. And then the DM being like, well, I wrote her into the story, so you have to finish it because I want to see it through.
Doesn't matter.
That's very selfish.
Doesn't matter.
That's very, very selfish of you.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. You turn up to D&D to have fun. I would, if one of you came to me and was like, I'm not having fun anymore, I want to change my character, I would try and find out why.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can change?
You would try change it around.
I would try and do a couple of things before we resulted in that. But if at the end of the day we changed those things, those things that you wanted to change, and you still didn't like it, just change your character.
Yeah, what's the point in playing something that you're not liking?
Yeah, you turn up to play, and there's a lot of classes and there's a lot of subclasses, and things can sound great, and then when you start to play, they're not the same.
Yeah, definitely.
So
100%.
It's not up to you as the DM to decide what people play.
Yeah, and to be honest, OP as well, she says that I agreed begrudgingly, but then I was also given options of things to change.
Yeah.
Which is good. However, I then realised I had a million hoops to jump through to even do that. What's the point?
Why making it hard?
What's the point?
What's the point in making it hard? You're just making somebody have less fun.
Exactly. Why would you want your player to have less fun? That sucks.
I mean, yeah, but you're also asking the DM that says metagaming is asking the other players if they're hurt.
Well, and then saying behind your player's back when they're not there.
Not good.
That's
not
you
good.
should never, ever, ever.
If you got something to say to a player, just say it.
Just say it. Say it privately. If it pertains to the group, say it to the group. Yeah. Do not try to
don't just say things behind characters' backs, players' backs.
When they're not there, that's simply not fair. That is really
to the rest of the group as well.
Especially as the DM, that is just not fair. That is not fair to do.
Unacceptable behaviour.
Exactly, Jack. So
just draw on the line right there.
Draw it. Well, thank you very much for your submission,
Yes.
Anonymous.
Anonoblaster.
I'm very, very sorry that you went through that. I hope that... So, to be fair, she ends it saying that we play in different games. And now actually, there's the sort of...
more tolerable.
Yeah, more tolerable. Okay, so this is... I don't know. We're at some point...
This has been chaos, to be honest.
It's been absolute chaos. Both of these episodes have been chaos today. So this has been submitted by James, and he goes by he, him. And also, his character name is Tsai Auron, which is...
Tsai Auron, very cool. James.
Cool name.
James.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right, James. I'm sorry.
Thanks for your submission.
Thank you very much. So old school story here, but I still think about it. Back in college days, I was maybe 23 or so. We were playing D&D 3.5, and I was playing a psychic warrior. I'll keep it as short as I can to get to the point.
Dope.
In a friend's game, the first and only session of this game, my character was hired to retrieve a special sword from a tomb. In turn, the rest of the group were hired to help navigate and retrieve said sword. My character would keep the sword, and theirs would keep whatever treasure was inside the tomb as a payment.
Cool, yeah, sounds fair.
While we were going through the tomb, we get lots of loot. Notable loot being some tapestries and rugs, etc. The DM said these things specifically at one point in the treasure room. Once we found the said sword I was looking for, my character took it, and no other character cared as per the deal we made.
Mm-hmm.
So I told the DM that in the game, I was just going to wrap the sword in rugs and tapestries to hide that it was actually a sword.
Nice.
And it just looked like rugs and blankets or whatever. The DM said that was fine. Well, in this tomb, the group got hosed by traps and creature host.
Hosed, yeah. I guess like sprayed down.
Oh. I never thought. Okay, hosed down.
Like, yeah, forcefully attacked by monsters and creatures.
Sorry.
Wasn't just every monster was a hose.
Monsters with hoses. By traps and creatures. I was hurt bad and poisoned, but surviving. One guy died completely. We made it out, hurt and down a guy, but the party pushed on.
Okay.
The dead guy re-rolled a new character. The DM allowed him to...
that was quick.
It's a quick turnaround. The DM allowed him to meet up with the current group of survivors as they made it out of the tomb. I've just remembered what this story is.
Yeah?
Yeah. This new character story was that he was a protector of the tomb and wanted to keep the sword in the tomb and not allow anyone to take it. Weird choice, considering you've just gone through the whole... But whatever. Okay. So we leave the tomb and he's there.
he's there.
Just waiting.
Just waiting outside.
Yeah. He immediately comes
He's actually been there for ages.
Yeah, he's been waiting. He immediately comes up to me and says, "Put the sword back." Out of game, I go to the DM and I say, he has no idea I have the sword on me. It's wrapped up. He has no idea the sword is even gone. The DM reluctantly agrees. I'm sorry, it's the next sentence.
Go on.
The DM reluctantly agrees and said he would have no reason to just go after me.
Yeah.
So this player goes, okay, and says, I run into the tomb, I see the sword is gone, and I come back. Then immediately comes up to me again and asks that I return the sword or he's going to attack me.
His literal character died. And everybody else has got poisoned. Everyone's like on the verge of death. And then he's like, give me the sword. And he's like, you don't know I've got the sword. And he's like, you're right. 2 seconds later, he's like, give me the sword. How did you get through there that fast?
Or I'll attack.
How did you get there? We all nearly died. Your character died in there.
Like, as a player, you literally...
Just imagine it as an actual circumstance for like 2 seconds.
Imagine this is a scene in a movie. Just
goes back out slightly out of breath.
Yeah.
Right,
give me the sword.
Give me the sword.
That's so funny. I feel like, you know what? When people talk about metagaming, I feel like this is a perfect example.
That is metagaming.
Perfect example of what true
metagaming.
I was going to say delinquent metagaming, but true metagaming is.
That is true. Like, coming up to the person and being like, give me the sword.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you don't know I've got the sword.
You have no idea.
But, you know, sometimes those mistakes can be made.
Sometimes,
I agree, yeah. You know, your out-of-game knowledge bleeds in and then you know things that you don't actually know. That happens. Like, it happens to everyone by accident. But then to be like, I just run in and run straight back out. Give me the sword.
Come
Give me some.
Why as a player do you want this to happen? Why are you initially being like, oh, he's going to attack if not? So out of game again, I tell the DM there is no reason for his characters to specifically target me out of everyone. In game, I told the guy all I had was tapestries and rugs and a few other trinkets, and that I didn't take a sword. I think I even told the guy that it was gone by the time we got there. Even the other characters that were present in the tomb didn't tell this new guy anything. They didn't trust him, nor did he even ask them about the sword. Just me. The DM was just ready to move on and told the player to drop it, and he has no reason to single me out. I think the most the DM had us do was for me to bluff about the sword, which the other player didn't beat my bluff, so his character would have believed I wasn't hiding it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, yeah, it's like, well, roll a deception check.
Yeah.
Because you do have the sword.
Yeah, yeah.
If this person doesn't know.
Yeah. We move on and leave the tomb area. At night, while resting, I decided to climb and rest in a tree, away from the others. My character didn't like that this newcomer decided to join us. A random encounter happens and the monster attacks us. Sorry, I got a bit.
Go for it. Sorry, everyone.
Oh.
Hold up.
Thank you. This rerolled character, instead of reacting to the monster attack, takes the distraction as an opportunity to attack my character as he believes I still have the sword. Why? Why? Because I'm still weak and literally poisoned from the tomb, and during the rest I didn't recover much. Basically, there is nothing I can do. I get attacked and I die.
Actually die?
And I die.
Oh my god.
The DM just shrugs his shoulders and doesn't do anything. He was just over it at this point, tired and ready to stop the game, so he didn't care.
I'm over this guy. I'm over
tired.
this player.
After the encounter, they rest. The rerolled character goes through my body, takes the sword, and returns it to the tomb. I kind of go off on the DM that this was metagaming. There's no way his character would have known or justification for any of it.
Didn't know. Went in the tomb, claimed to know. Still didn't know.
Rolled a check.
Didn't
know.
Didn't know. The
There
random
was a
encounter
combat.
happens and he's like, I killed a guy in the tree.
Yeah, to be like
And he turns to him and he's like, what do you want to do when you go? And he's got his sword out right in front of the monster and he's like, I run up the tree. I take the attack of opportunity and go up the tree.
Or there was there was no way the character would have known any justification for it. Or at the very least, the DM should have required rolls to see if he noticed the sword or something.
I feel like the DM should have just pushed a bit harder and been like, just drop it. You don't know.
Yeah, just leave it.
Yeah.
Like a dog. It's been a while since this game, but this has always stuck with me.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised. I'm not sure if this is a horror story or just really annoying.
Do you know what? I was just thinking, do you know what? This would just piss me off.
This is just annoying.
This would just piss me off.
This is just like stupid behavior,
just
right?
Like, you don't know they have it. So stop going on about them having it.
Yeah, this is just really weird behavior. So this player
takes the opportunity to come and attack me in the tree.
Climbs the tree, spends 3 rounds getting up the tree.
I know you've got that sword.
This player that did it was always doing weird stuff, using slashes to keep track of skills instead of just adding numbers together. I mean, that's not that weird. So he was always misreading what his skill bonus was because he had to count the slashes every time, as well as rolling his dice and picking it up before it finished rolling and telling us what the number was.
That's a real common way of cheating.
Are you kidding me?
It's a real common way of cheating, yeah. So,
right,
like,
go on. You roll right in front of me right now.
It's called the quick pickup.
Go on.
It's called the quick pickup.
You roll right in front of me and you try to bluff me that I didn't see you do it.
Yeah, so you just go.
Yeah, go on.
You go. Oh, it's a 17.
I saw that. It was a 15.
Yeah, but not if you stood over there. Go stand over there.
I'm not. I can't.
Go on. Go stand behind the camera where I'd stand.
Jack, I physically can't stand up.
Let me roll over here then.
Go on.
19.
I'll give you that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That's the
one.
point.
I'll give you that one.
It's very common.
We watched a Dungeon Dudes video about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where they went over how players could cheat.
Yeah. What was it? There was the quick pickup.
There was
obviously weighted dice.
Yeah, there was the tilting it weird,
Yeah,
like picking it up and like
roll
thumb rolling it.
Yeah, and then you go.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cheating happens, you know.
Touche. I'll give that to you.
Some people don't like to fail.
I'll give that. That's lame.
Wrong game, by the way.
Yeah, I'll give that to you. So, yeah, and they just end it with thoughts.
You've heard our thoughts there.
Listen,
that sounds like a nightmare.
James, that is so weird. I am not surprised that this sticks with you. I bet this is one of those stories that, like, when you're all sitting around and you're talking about bad experiences you have, I bet you tell this and everyone is like,
that sounds terrible.
What the actual fuck?
Man, that's not.
That's so lame, man. And again, I've said this before, I don't think, to a degree, there's anything wrong with metagaming to a degree. I feel like sometimes it is required sometimes to have a conversation above the board just to sort out exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I agree. I think, we allow a degree of metagaming at our table to like, sometimes in combat, you need to turn to each other and be like, man, what do we do? Do we do we do this? Do we do that? Do we run? Do we stay?
And if someone needs help, we're not gonna not help them.
No, yeah, I think if somebody's like, I don't know what to do here, being like, well, you could do this, you could do this.
Exactly.
Advice is not,
Yeah, I don't think that's.
But again, some people would class that as metagaming.
Yes,
so,
I agree.
There are different degrees. This is
textbook metagaming.
This is just metagaming.
Textbook metagaming.
This is just metagaming for the sake of trying to make you have a bad time.
Yeah.
I just walk in the tomb and walk back out. It's like, we've been in there for 3 days.
Come on. The thing is, right, for some reason, I was reading this with the impression that this was like a one-shot. There's no indication that this was a one-shot, right?
Don't think
this
so.
is like a full...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but this was like a full campaign, which makes it even weirder. Like,
I climbed the tree.
I know, just weird behavior, really weird behavior.
I'm sorry that happened to you, James.
I am sorry. And you know what? Your DM being like...
I just shrugged it off. Now, yeah, I think the DM should have just put the foot down
hard.
When they were saying, no, you don't know anything about it, they should just put the foot down hard.
And just be like, you don't know anything about it.
You don't know, just leave it now.
Just like, please, can you just leave it? And there's nothing wrong with saying that to your players. If the players...
Pushing it that hard.
Did you see that?
No.
So much saliva just came out of my mouth and it's coated something. I'm so sorry, everyone. I hope you heard that.
Oh no, it's just on the lens.
I know. I'm so sorry. What on earth was I saying?
You were saying.
Who knows? No, the fact that the DM just let you die.
Yeah.
The DM was so sick of it.
Like in that moment when in the combat, the DM should have been like, "Why would you go up the train? Because you don't know the swords there.
Exactly.
So why are you going up the train?"
What I was saying is, there's nothing wrong with telling a player if they're bad behavior and they're being annoying.
Yeah, and they're metagaming like that.
And everyone is having a bad time because of it. There is nothing wrong with telling a player politely, just saying you don't know.
Just leave it now.
Just leave it.
Yeah.
Please just leave it. And I'm sorry that your character was the one who had to suffer and die because this dude wouldn't shut up. Why was he so obsessed with a sword? Why was he so obsessed with it?
Because it was written in his backstory.
Right, yes,
that he made up there and then.
Yes. Pardon me. But yeah, that's wild. That's so funny. I'm sorry. That I bet.
Sorry, James.
That is... Sorry, James.
Squad Blaster James.
Yep. Thank you very, very much for your submission, James. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was good.
Very... I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that we found it so funny.
That was quite funny. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is number 6. I've put a number on this one. This is number 6.
Yeah, but is it 6? Because you haven't put a number on any of these ones.
I don't know.
It might be 6.
It might be 6.
I think it's 6.
It might be 6. So this has been sent in by Lucy Aldra, and they go by they, she.
Squad Blaster Lucy. Thank you very much.
Yep. So they, she have a horror story about one of my first D&D experiences. I went to a local hobby shop in the new town I had just moved to, hoping to join in a D&D campaign. This would have been my second time ever playing. Lucky enough for me, one of the tables ended up having an opening for a Saturday game that had been ongoing. The party was only level 5, so it wouldn't be too difficult for me to hop in.
Yeah.
All seemed great. I talked to the DM about my character, and he seemed really into it. I was incredibly excited to play and build upon my character's backstory, and to see how my character would grow. That's one of the best parts.
Yeah, 100%.
That is absolutely one of the best parts. I showed up that Saturday with a brand new set of dice, my character sheet, which I had decorated to match my character's aesthetic,
nice,
and a super excited demeanor. Lucy, I'd love that for you. I love
cool.
that.
New character, new dice.
Hell yeah, exactly.
That's the rule.
Exactly.
That's the rule you gotta live by.
You just
live by that rule.
You just got to. I met all of the other players who had already been part of this campaign, and they all seemed really friendly and excited to play with me as well. A couple of us even had a small chat about how our characters' relationships might develop and change.
It starts off fairly normal and fun. Our party was following some cultists into some ruins to try and see what they were doing and if we could stop them. Upon entering what looked like a ritual chamber, a door slammed shut behind our party, trapping us in there, and the cultists revealed themselves to be mind flayers.
Uh-oh.
Our party had no choice but to fight and ended up in a TPK.
Uh-oh.
I, of course, was incredibly disappointed and asked the DM what happened next. He shrugged and said, "My work schedule is changing. I'll let you know if I restart the campaign." And he never did. No one at the table had known that this was the case and that the campaign was coming to an end. Had I been the person that I am today, I would have called out his bullshit. But I wasn't, so I just went home and had a small cry. Needless to say, it sucked.
So, the DM TPK'd them because...
For what feels like intentionally, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to end the campaign.
So then why did they invite they invite the new player to play?
Why did they take on a new character? Why did they did they give a name? Why did they let out Lucy give their backstory over?
Yeah, think of a backstory, get excited, buy some
get
dice.
Excited. And the way that she was like, oh yeah, the DM was excited too. The DM really liked it. Why did they also let her come and meet the new players and meet the players? Like, if they knew for a fact...
They were just going to TPK in the next session.
Going to TPK. What's the point?
That sounds like an intentional TPK.
From how she ends it, it sounds like it was an intentional TPK.
It sounds like it was an intentional TPK.
It sounds...
like a group of... It depends on how many mind flayers there were, because mind flayers are particularly dangerous.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
But level 5s as well.
Yeah. And, you know, especially because she said she was also a new player and a new character, and this was her first session in as well.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is just... I'm going to use the word again, cruel. This is just cruel to do. I feel like
it is quite cruel to do.
Especially because she got excited. She bought new dice. She decorated her character sheet.
The hype that you feel about building a new character.
100%.
Like meeting like all your friends to be like, this is the campaign setting. There's just nothing like it.
It's unrivaled. That is
like
potentially one of the best parts, especially in the beginning of playing D&D and getting a new campaign.
Now, it's
one
just
of the
exciting.
best parts.
It's just exciting.
I agree. It's like the feeling of like starting something new and exciting.
New chapter. It's really exciting.
So that is so disappointing. And you know what, Lucy? I would also have gone home and had a small cry too.
I think I might have.
That's so disappointing, and to be so hyped, and for him just to shrug and be like,
schedule's changing. Why did you let this new player join them?
I know.
Why didn't you just say it?
I know. I hate that. To me, that feels very spineless.
Yeah.
That feels really like, I don't know, like a yes man. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it feels more like it just. Why didn't you just turn to your players and say, "My work schedule's changed. I'm not going to be able to run the game anymore. Does anybody else want to take over?"
Exactly. Why did you not just open up the communication and say this?
Instead of just TPK, inviting a new player, getting them to do a backstory,
getting
then
them
TPKing
excited,
them.
Let them meet everyone, and then TPK them. And again, no one at the table knew that this was the case and that it was coming to an end. No one knew. What a waste of everyone's time.
But
what is with...
Particularly Lucy.
Yeah, particularly Lucy. What's the point in lying?
Yeah.
What's the point in not being honest with your players? What is with all these people
I don't know.
who just can't say things? And I understand it's hard. Communication is hard.
Yeah.
Communication's something you have to constantly work on.
Yeah.
So I get it, and I get it. It's kind of like you said earlier, not everyone is equipped with the tools that potentially myself are.
Hello.
We're back.
We are back.
I don't know if I will have left that clip in, but but it's basically someone came to the door.
Yeah.
And just for frame of reference, it's like 10 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock at night.
On a Thursday, so it could have potentially been Amazon or something. But it was Matthew. Who plays D&D with us and my best friend. He just dropped some cakes off.
Yeah. Just came around and just said, I made you some cakes. Here's the cakes. I'm going to go now. And I was like, no. Come on in. Come on.
You know what? We were like,
do you want to
pop in and show your face on the podcast?
And he said he's going to wait for the day that he gets invited on.
He's going to wait for the right moment. Yeah. Just so it's sorry again. The dog. Oh, there's a lot going on. But yeah, Matthew dropped some cakes off for us, which was very, very sweet. You had one and you said they're really fucking good.
Yeah, they are. They're like just like a normal sponge with some raspberries in.
Yeah.
And like a white chocolate and orange.
Oh, is it white
icing?
chocolate?
White chocolate and orange icing. And they were very nice.
I'm excited to have one. Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, I got another one for after this. Can't wait.
Hell yeah! How many did he drop us for?
4, 2 each.
What a treat! Oh, get you a D&D player who'll drop you off cakes at 10 o'clock on a Thursday night.
10 o'clock on a Thursday night.
Oh, so Lucy, I feel like I'm.
Yeah.
To be honest, we had pretty much said.
Yeah.
All that we had.
That was extremely unfair on you, and I'm very sorry that happened to you. Your DM should have just said that they had something going on. Instead of just TPKing you intentionally to end the session there.
Shouldn't have let you.
Because things changed in their personal life.
Shouldn't have let you join, but I really hope that you found another group since.
Yes.
I really hope that you have had that new character feeling again, and you got your dice and you got your sheet. And I'm sorry that happened, Lucy.
Yeah, I am. Because that sucks.
Well, thank you very, very much for your submission.
Thank you.
Okay, on to number 7. I apparently just didn't number the first ones, but I've numbered this one.
Okay.
So we're on number 7.
Okay.
So this was sent in by Anonymous, and they go by he, him.
Anonoblaster.
Okay. Yep.
Keep it up, squad.
Played D&D for the first time. Almost never played again. This was years ago, but at my university, there was a tabletop gaming club that had D&D nights. I had never played before, but had always wanted to give it a shot. And the club had a first-time players night to help people like me create our first characters and play one-shots. I was excited and created my first ever character.
That sounds cool.
A level 1 human wizard.
Nice.
I had imagined him as having an Eastern aesthetic to pay respect to my Asian heritage.
Very, very, very cool.
Very cool. I love that. Even taking a tool proficiency in instruments so he could play a shamisen. I hope I pronounced that right. From there, all the new players were split up with experienced DMs to play a newbie-friendly one-shot. My character was partnered up with a group of mainly orc/half-orc barbarians, fighters, and a bard, and we were tasked to investigate a haunted, misty forest where people had been vanishing into.
Awesome.
While investigating, the DM had me roll a constitution saving throw as spectral monsters, which I later learned were homebrewed, had come out of the fog and targeted me. Being a level 1 wizard, I failed and was instantly killed. No saving throws, as my hit point total was reduced to 0.
Reduced.
I knew you'd heard it. I knew you did. I hoped you just ignored it.
Oh, so if you get reduced to 0 in this campaign, you just instantly die?
Yeah. The rest of the party soon followed, as their attacks were primarily and exclusively non-magical, and as such did very little damage to these ghosts. With that, my first game of D&D had come to an end, and I was pissed. This was not the newbie-friendly at the event. This was not newbie-friendly, and the event very nearly convinced me
was not.
to never play D&D again. I've played much better games since, with DMs who don't derive enjoyment from screwing over new players. But man, that was a rough start.
That is a rough start.
That is a rough start.
Don't advertise it as beginner-friendly, newbie-friendly, and then chuck him into a combat and then immediately kill him.
A combat that you know for a fact, as an experienced DM,
is gonna TPK them.
They're not going to be able to. Why would you put them up against spectral ghosts?
Spectral ghosts that attack the only person who could probably do the most damage to them.
Yep, and attacked
first.
And again, just straight up
one-shot
attacked
mechanic,
like a level 1 wizard.
You should never have a one-shot mechanic in a game like in a first game like
no. And level 1 wizards, y'all be squishy.
Well, it depends how much con you have, but you can have 6 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It can go up to there to a maximum of 11?
Yeah.
And I hope that those players were notified about that one-shot mechanic.
Yeah.
Before the game starts.
I sincerely doubt it.
Doesn't sound like it.
Doesn't sound like it. Absolutely doesn't sound like it.
Why would you put on this event and do this for players to then just make them have a terrible time?
I really hope that this was, because they said the new players were split up amongst the experienced DMs, right? I hope this was just like a rogue DM who this isn't a reflection of the whole...
Everybody else there.
Exactly.
Of the community
I would like to think that this is just
I would
someone who's just an asshole, right?
I agree.
Who isn't a reflection on them.
Hopefully not.
Like, that's so unfair.
That's so bad to do to new players.
And again, imagine that being your first time playing
Why
D&D.
would you ever want to play again after
Why
that?
would you? Because
put in all the time to get the character sheet, think about your class, look into the class, think about what subclass you might be at level 3.
Which we know he has, because he even went out of his way to give him an Eastern aesthetic and had
do you know what I mean? Like,
to think about his
to
Asian
think
heritage.
about all of that, your Asian heritage.
I know.
To like go and get a proficiency in musical instruments to then be able to play I can't remember what it was called.
A shamisen.
A shamisen. to then just be like, yeah, make me con save. Oh, you fail. You're dead.
Yeah.
What's the point?
What's the point?
What's the point?
That feels like that is like a really weird level of gatekeeping. I think to be like, oh,
yeah, just so you know, other DMs are going to do this to you as well. So I'm just preparing you for the real. It's like that doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. That's not
not how it works.
Yeah, that's so not normal.
Like I feel like they maybe should have vetted these people a little bit better.
Yeah, but again, maybe this person could have just been having a bad day and just wanted to take it out on someone, which is pathetic. And again, OP said, I play a game now with DMs who don't derive enjoyment from screwing over new players. Yeah. That's just such a horrible attitude to have.
It's a terrible attitude.
And that's exactly what was going on here.
Yeah.
Exactly. What a terrible first introduction. Good on you for not letting it be the only introduction.
Ruin it for you, because that would probably ruin it for a lot of people.
Yeah, because if I had gone in my first time playing D&D having no idea and it was that boring and unfair, I would have been like,
why would I want to play this?
Because you don't understand that
you don't understand that that's not how it works.
And that there's different DMs who do things differently.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks. I'm sorry, OP. That is such a shame. To be honest, that one writes itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, that one's
There's not much
just
more.
so bad.
Not much more I can add to that, so I'm sorry that happened.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
But thank you very, very much.
Yeah, thank you for your submission.
For your submission. Okay, so this is story... So I numbered 6 and 7.
Nice.
I haven't numbered the other ones. You know what?
Are the other ones like A, B, C?
No, there's nothing.
and then there's 6 and 7.
There's literally nothing. And normally I do number them.
Yeah.
But I think what happened was I was maybe changing the order of them and I just deleted some of the numbers, so I have no idea. I have absolutely categorically no idea. I don't even know if those ones were 6 and 7.
Okay.
They could have been anything.
So 9, 8 and 9.
This is potentially 8 and 9.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. So this is sent in by Anonymous and they go by she, her.
Anonyblaster, she, her.
Are you going to say that every time?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We don't call them anonymous anymore.
No.
We call them anonyblasters.
My goodness gracious.
If you put in a submission and you are anonymous,
don't
call yourself anonyblaster.
Don't. I beg you. I am once again asking you to please. Don't let him corrupt your brain.
Anonyblaster. Squad blasters.
Right. Okay. Anonymous.
Yeah.
This was the first time that she, her DM'd a party. It was for a small group of my friends, which was 3 players, 2 he, hims, and 1 she, her. The game was progressing well, and we were having a great time. A few weeks into the game, the husband of one of our players, the she, her player, asked if he could join the game. He had never played D&D before, but he liked fantasy video games and wanted to give it a try.
Okay.
I think that's a normal pipeline.
That's a pretty normal pipeline.
Yeah. We say as if it's like drugs. Normal pipeline.
Gateway.
Yeah. Now, my friend and her husband were newlyweds. They were only a few months into their marriage, and the marriage was already going very poorly.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. This was his attempt to try and do something with her. So
Okay.
I accepted him into the game to try and help have something fun to do together.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
That's good. That's a good thing to do.
Yeah. However, this is a horror story.
Yeah. Great.
I helped him build his character and got him all set up to play. Spoiler alert. It went horribly. Since it was his first character, he had told me he wasn't sure how he wanted to roleplay or what he wanted for a backstory. So I told him no problem. He could figure it out as he went. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
He came
very common.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To not have it all figured out before session 1
Completely.
and just sort of play and be what the party needs you to be.
Even for experienced players,
yeah,
that's
a lot of people
normal.
do that. A lot of people do that.
He came to the game and began playing this absolutely disgusting character with a foot fetish and kept trying to take the joke way too far. It made everyone at the table uncomfortable, so during the game, I asked him to please stop.
Okay.
Several times. And after the game, I went to him privately and discussed the issue. I tried to explain if his character wanted to have a weird fixation of feet, okay, but it wasn't okay to sexualize the other players and make them feel uncomfortable. The response I was given was, I was just trying to spice up the game because it's so boring. I wanted this to be like the video games I've played, and all these rules and turn orders are bland. I'll do what I have to make sure I have fun, even if you're the lame one.
What?
First of all, you're
coming into this group.
You're coming into you're coming into her game being like, You're the lame.
Your game's lame though.
You're lame.
And I'm really cool and really fun and really exciting.
And I'm gonna do whatever it takes for me to have a good time.
Whatever it takes. Look, I know you're lame.
And I know
you're really lame.
I know you're really uncomfortable by me acting like this.
But I'm so funny.
Yeah. And it's hilarious.
It's gonna be hilarious. So
and it's just like the video games.
You just need to wait. Because it's gonna be so good.
You're the lame one.
Shut up.
Needless to say, I told him he was not welcome at the game table anymore, and I would not be DMing for him ever again. Good. The game continued on without him, but the player who was married to the problematic player stopped playing with us because he would not allow her to play anymore, which is its own set of issues. 100%.
That is its own set of issues. You don't get to tell somebody what to do.
That's fucking terrible.
You don't own the other person in your relationship.
Absolutely not. But yeah, the game came to an end after that because there were only 2 players left. And we were all so tired after the ordeal, we just decided to call the game there. Come, man. Why is it always these fucking weird dudes who are total assholes?
Also, by the way, not kink shaming. You got a foot fetish. That's fine.
Oh,
that's totally fine.
I have no problem with that.
Just want to let you know.
Once again, not going to yuck your yum. I couldn't care less about that.
You like feet? Totally fine.
100%. But do not force that on the players at your table.
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't
make everybody else feel uncomfortable.
Don't bring it into the game like that. Don't bring it into the game at all.
I just can't believe you got all the lame.
I know. Yeah. Even though you're the lame one.
It doesn't sound like anybody found your shenanigans fun.
No. Everyone at the table was uncomfortable. And the fact that she said in the game, please stop several times.
Like,
Come on.
That should be all you need. Just once.
Just once.
If you cross a line and you don't know you've crossed it, if somebody just says, can you stop that?
If someone clearly says, please stop.
That's it. You just stop.
There's no questions.
If you're making somebody else uncomfortable, so they ask you to stop, that's it. There's no more. You don't call them lame.
Yeah.
My God.
You know what, OP? The fact that you even tried to salvage it after that, you went to him, you said, you can have it, it's fine.
You have the
Do
foot
not
fetish
bring
thing,
other people into it.
Yeah, it's nobody else's business. Like, don't make that anybody else's problem.
Because it makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And what a horrible response. What a horrible, awful, terrible response.
Because it's boring.
Because it's... I was trying to spice up the game.
Other people enjoy this. Just because you don't doesn't mean nobody
it's boring.
Else can.
Doesn't mean it's lame. Come on, man. That's terrible. And you know what? Your friend who is married to this person, who wasn't allowed to then continue to play, you are right. That is a problem in its own. It's
a problem in its own.
But
and
that
this isn't a podcast about other people's relationships.
No, but that's unacceptable.
You can't just be like, oh, well, I thought it was lame.
Oh, they kicked me out.
You can't play anymore.
That's completely...
Like, you don't... A marriage is a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we, fiancés.
Yeah.
But, we're basically married.
Yeah.
And I don't have any, and I never will have any power over you to tell you what you can and can't do.
Especially in situations like this.
In any situation.
Like, no, yeah, but, I would always value your input.
Yeah,
and I would always...
You can value my input. And I can value your input.
Yeah.
But you can't go, you can't do this.
You can't play D&D.
Yeah.
With the people who kicked me out because
That's not how it is.
No.
That's not how relationships or marriages work. Marriages are two-way streets. If somebody wants to do something, you support them.
Yeah.
You don't say you can't do that. You don't own the other person.
Like,
you don't have a sense of ownership over them.
And it's the way that this was apparently his attempt to be like, okay, I'll do something with you as my newlywed. And something we can have fun together, and then he fucking sabotages it.
Then he comes in, makes it uncomfortable for everyone, and then not allows you to do it anymore.
I know, that sounds like complete sabotage. That sounds intentional.
Was it intentional?
Didn't like her playing D&D with other people. Was like, oh, can I play?
It's not his choice.
And then was like, oh, I got kicked out, so you can't play with him either. Because that once again, you know what? That is me assuming. That is me putting words in his mouth.
I mean, yeah, but look, we can do the whole like assuming thing and not like this person. Like, I'm allowed to assume about this person now because of the way they've behaved. Like, they've behaved so horrendously so badly,
so
rudely. I'm allowed to make assumptions that you probably have malicious intent
doing
this because you've left us no choice.
True. Like, that's it.
You've left this person no choice.
It's obviously malicious intent, right? Obviously. That's so fucking weird, and that's so lame. And
it's just so unfair on the person who now can't play D&D with their friends
I know.
because of their
I'd say it's
stupid behaviour.
the most unfair on her, to be
Yeah,
honest.
more than anyone.
Yeah. So
But it's still bad for the DM.
it's bad for everyone. So, man, I'm sorry, Anonymous. That sucks. That is a horrible situation and terrible crack. I'm sorry. But thank you for your submission.
Definitely.
Thank you for letting us know.
Thank you.
And if there's any update on that, let us know.
Yeah.
Because this applies to all of them.
Yeah,
of
every
course.
single one.
If there's any
updates?
update to any of them, please let us know because we'd love to hear.
Yeah.
So thank you. And I'm sorry.
I am also.
Okay, on to some
Number.
on to number.
Number last one.
Yeah. Number, I don't even know if this is the last one, Jack. This is the last one.
Yeah.
This is the last one. Okay. So, this is submitted by Anonymous, and the pronouns are she, her.
Okay. And not a blast is she, her.
The title is just Don't Date Your DM.
Okay.
I started playing D&D in middle school, and since then until I left for college this year, and I've always played with the same group. So, from my assumption, that is quite a long time to be playing with the same group. If middle school is... Thank you, everyone, who the last time we had this conundrum,
Thank you.
You left in the comments and you let us know.
And we looked at the comments today for clarification on their age.
So, middle school is, if I'm right, like...
We'll just fucking get it wrong.
like between like 11 and 13.
Yeah.
And then college is the same as us, which is like 18 plus. Right?
College is university.
Yeah. So like 18 plus.
A little bit older for us, I think.
Sorry.
Anyway,
yeah.
so you've been playing for like, what, 6...
You've been playing it at least for...
5 to 6 years. Something like that.
A decent amount of time with this group. So our DM, who I will call M, first invited me due to a crush that he had on me.
Okay.
I was pretty oblivious to this, though, for years. I should have picked up on it, really. Once in middle school, he had my character and his DMPC get married with no input from me. We did get divorced after he realised I was really upset about it, though, but I have avoided ever having my characters be in romantic relationships since. Over COVID, though, it became increasingly obvious. This culminated in us dating for around 3 days before I really came to the terms with the fact that I was aromantic, and no matter how much I liked Em as a friend, dating just wasn't something I was capable of.
Fair enough.
It's the fish fingers.
Yes.
Repeating on me.
That you had 6
hours ago. So our breakup was pretty amicable. There was no yelling, no name calling, but it was pretty awkward for a while.
That's understandable.
Yeah. We still had D&D though, as it was most of our only contact with the outside world in quarantine. Yep.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of people got into D&D over lockdown, and this is probably a very similar story to what a lot of people went through.
Yeah.
The awkwardness was easier to handle since it was over Discord due to the virus.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Em got along really well outside of D&D despite everything, but suddenly his behaviour as a DM in our game got very strange. It was mostly just petty things, really. Deciding he wanted to take away my class abilities because he didn't like dealing with them in combat. I played a Warforged in our campaign, and he would plan our encounters in cities so that nothing we did I could participate in. For example, a magical candy shop, a tattoo parlor, a restaurant, etc.
Okay.
At first, I was like, why couldn't you get involved? But for those who don't know what a Warforged is, it's basically like a big old robot.
It's an automaton.
It's an automaton, so things like magical candy shop, you can't consume the food. You
can just put it and taste it.
Yeah.
You can put it in your mouth and go.
Yeah, you go through the motions, but you can't really get a tattoo. You can't enjoy a restaurant.
Metal skin. You can get an engraving.
You could, you know what? You could get an engraving, but
go to the blacksmiths or something.
Yeah, go to the automobile shop around the back. But yeah, no, so just for that context,
yes,
that's kind of what that means.
That's probably what that means.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I guess. So very early in the campaign, we had gone to a pet shop and I had asked if there was any companion rocks. Em had said that there were, and they let me purchase one. Again, a companion rock is basically just like a magical pet.
Mm-hmm.
Other players had bought things like magical snakes and a blink dog. When we had to leave the blink dog behind temporarily, I offered my pet rock to the bereaved party. M's DMPC began openly mocking my character for believing that the rock was magical. Apparently, it was just a normal stone. I felt so stupid, I just burst out crying. Oh, man. This being over Discord, I muted myself as I didn't want him to let him know I was bothered by it. I still felt really guilty over our whole relationship and figured if this was what he needed to feel better, then I would let him have it. Man. This went on in a similar vein for a while.
Not fair.
No, it's not fair. And you also should never forfeit your comfortability.
Own feelings for somebody else's because...
Absolutely, especially if they're taking it out on you like that. Never. This went on in a similar vein for a while. Lots of having NPCs single out my character or trying to exclude them from events. Other players started to pick up on it, and they would apologize for his behavior after sessions. Playing became really miserable for me, and with the stress of COVID and this, I would end sessions in tears pretty regularly. Eventually, when the quarantine lifted, we decided to have sessions in person again. I was really nervous about this, as I didn't want to end up crying in front of everyone when I couldn't mute and hide it. However, when we were back in person, the picking on me stopped almost immediately. I guess it was harder for him to do when he could see me react. We have both since moved past this period in our lives and we've become good friends. But God, those few months were miserable. That sounds...
That's sad.
Absolutely like hell on earth. I am so sorry that you felt like you had to just sit there and take it. And
because
you had to
allow the other person to have an outlet.
Catharsis.
Yeah.
And the fact that you were worried about going to playing in real life because you couldn't mute and hide your feelings. I'm so sorry. You shouldn't ever, 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 ever have to hide your feelings to someone hurting you.
Yeah.
You simply shouldn't have to do that. And I'm sorry you felt like you had to.
Yeah. Because you shouldn't have.
No.
It doesn't matter if this person was upset about the breakup. It doesn't matter if they were hurt about the breakup. It sounds like it was, amicable.
Well, yeah. They said it was amicable. They said the breakup was amicable.
That person then doesn't get to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, what were you supposed to do? Just stay in the relationship for their
what?
sake?
Yeah, for what? Especially because she says that I realised I was aromantic.
That's probably quite a big thing to then realise about yourself.
That's probably a huge point in your life to realise your sexuality, especially like that.
It's probably a big thing for you to have to realise and then do
exactly.
emotionally
and
deal with yourself.
Process that yourself.
Yeah.
And it's sad because she says, no matter how much I liked him as a friend, I just couldn't do it.
That's not your fault.
That's no.
But it feels like this other person is making that your fault.
Yeah, or they're at least trying to punish you for it.
Yeah, and it's not your fault.
Which is, first of all, he shouldn't have been punishing you in game for something that happened between you personally.
Yeah, that's just letting it bleed.
And that's
you can't let that happen.
No, that is so dangerous. And I understand it happens, but that is so dangerous to let that happen.
Shouldn't though.
No, it shouldn't.
It should never happen.
Absolutely shouldn't. And that you just endured it. I think that's what upsets me the most.
That's
is the fact that you
part about it.
You just endured it because you were
to make the other person allow them to deal with it. It's like you should be allowing yourself to deal with it.
And I feel like this is a really common thing, right? Where someone is being treated badly by someone in a social situation, and like she said, it's awkward.
Yeah.
It's all awkward. And then when someone gets away with treating you badly and being mean to you in front of a group of people, it becomes the norm.
Yeah.
And then when you speak out about it, that's not the norm.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're the one causing the fuss.
Yeah.
You're the one stirring the pot when
because I've been allowed to do this before.
Exactly. Oh, you never cared before. Do you know what I mean? That is such a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And again, I'm so glad it didn't come to that.
Yeah, and that's not your fault. The whole point is you shouldn't be put in that position in the first place. But it is hard to do. But if that does happen to you, it needs to be sort of confronted there and then.
Yeah, you need to put yourself first.
Yeah, because if people realize that you allow them to do that to you, they'll think, oh, good, I've done it once, I can do it again.
Exactly.
And they get this sort of power from it, and it's not good.
And you know what?
That's not
no, that's not on you.
Because that's really hard to do.
It's so hard to stand up when someone's being horrible to you.
Yeah.
To stand up in front of other people as well. That shit is
can you not
hard.
do that again?
That is hard. And you're made to feel like the bad guy. And you know what? You do say that afterwards, when the other players started picking up on it, they came to you outside of the game.
Yeah.
I do really wish someone had stood up for you.
Yeah, in the first instance.
I do really wish that even just one person stopped and said,
it's not okay.
Why are you excluding her?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you being horrible to her? Why are you mocking her?
Yeah.
I just wish someone had stood up for you. And I'm sorry that they didn't. And this, once again, this isn't a criticism on that. I just wish that had happened.
I agree.
And you know what? She says that they're both good friends and they've moved past it, which is great.
Yeah.
Don't know if he deserves that from you.
No, he doesn't.
Like,
he doesn't deserve that from you, and you're a very good person to
be able
give that
to
person a second chance.
Move past it. And it's the way that it's worded. We've both moved past it. What did he move past?
Yeah.
He
moved past not being horrible to you.
Yeah, he had a crush on you, and then he got you, and then you broke up, and he feels like you owed him something for that.
Yeah, that's it. He feels like you owe him.
You owe him because you upset him.
You hurt my feelings, now you owe me.
Which
isn't, you don't owe him anything.
You don't owe anyone anything.
You don't.
You owe
yourself. And don't ever let them force you into feeling that out, because that's what this person wanted.
Yeah, 100%.
They wanted to make you feel like you
owe
owed
them something,
and you don't.
Hey, you don't. And anyone listening, if you're in a position like this, you don't owe anyone anything.
No.
You owe it to yourself to be true to yourself.
More than anyone, that's what you owe. You owe yourself.
You owe yourself to stand up for yourself. Treat yourself as if they're you were your best friend.
Yeah.
You wouldn't let someone talk to your best friend like that.
Never.
You wouldn't let someone talk to a family member like that. You need to treat yourself how you see the people you care about in your life. Yeah. And that's rich coming from me. I understand. That's hard.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's so easy to say to other people.
It's so easy.
It's so easy. hard to actually act upon it.
Yeah, 100%.
And we aren't perfect.
No.
There's times where
I can't follow my own advice.
Yeah, most of the time, neither can I.
Yeah.
But at least we can maybe empower some other people to do that.
Definitely. Because, hey, I might not care about me, but I care about you.
Yeah. You're the people we care about.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's very easy for us to sit here and read your stories and be like, oh, well, this, and
just
this.
just do this.
We know it's not that easy.
We know it's not. And we're not being like, just do it. Don't
Absolutely not.
It's more just like, if you're in this situation again, just maybe take that moment and think back to what we've said.
Yeah.
And hopefully it will help you.
I agree. So I'm very sorry that happened.
So am I.
I'm glad you've moved past it. I'm glad that was just like a brief thing.
Yeah.
And man, lockdown has had enough without all of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that actually was the last one.
Okay.
That was actually the last one. I don't know what number it was. Maybe 10?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not even looking at the iPad. I did read something out this
You did, because I couldn't hold it together. This episode has been...
You're welcome.
This episode has been an absolute whirlwind.
Yes.
There has been a lot. There's been ups, there's been downs, there's been cakes delivered, and I have a sore throat now.
Which I'm going to go and eat now.
Oh, yes.
So thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, I think that just about does it.
If you enjoyed this episode... consider subscribing to the Eldritch Podblast for more of content like this.
Oh my goodness.
Leave a comment down below to let us know what you thought about our opinions here today. There is a form in the description where you can submit your horror stories, your Am I the Asshole stories, and many other topics.
Many more.
If you thought it was worth it, click the like button. And last but not least, if you are a frequenter of the Eldritch Podblast, consider clicking the little bell icon down below, because that will notify you when we upload our next video. So you can be the first person to watch it and first person to comment.
I did not know where you were going with that.
And with that,
I
would like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.